bada boom. Hello, hi everyone. Kero. Hello, it is I, Kuku Kaeru, your Swedish tree frog. Hi, woo, fingies. How you all doing? Welcome to the Saturday morning occult something or another stream talk where we're gonna craft. It's crafting stream time. Woohoo! I'm very excited. I've set up all my little things here. We're going to have a little crash course in some very basic concept of occult crafting. Well, not occult crafting, but the occult, the esoteric. Today's subject is going to be the Kabbalah. So we will be... Sorry, I'm just rushing in this head first. Very nervous about this. So this is the Tree of Life. It should actually look like this for you guys. So we will be working with the Tree of Life and making parallel bead thingies for them using this. Now, unfortunately, this thing is not like very easy to divide into fours, which is usually not a problem because each of these Sephirah, they will have just one color, right? But the problem is that we're going to be working with this Sephirah called Malkuth, which is the bottom one. It's the bottom of the rung. It's this one over here, which is where we live. This is like the physical world. This is our world. And all the way up here, we have Kether, which is the crown. So this is as far as we can perceive. Over here we have Ein Sof Hour, which is the eternal nothing, and the eternal... No, wait. The endless nothing, the endless, and the endless light. That's how it sort of translates, kind of. The Tree of Life is a very fundamental sort of framework to hang up your occult workings on. It's a very good system, in my opinion. I appreciate it a lot. I hope that... Oh my god, I hope the BGM is not too loud. We will be listening to some nice, relaxing music very soon, but I figured since we're just starting the stream, we're just getting warmed up. So my nails, I haven't been taking care of them. It's winter, it's dry, I'm sorry, they look crunchy, but I hope that's gonna be okay. So the Tree of Life is like the fundamental framework of the Kabbalistic system, which is originally a Hebrew, a Jewish system that has later on been adopted by both the Christian church to certain degrees. A lot of terminology comes from it, but it has also been picked up by esoteric movements that sort of work across the borders and take a little bit from here and a little bit from there. So you can discuss the ramifications of that quite a lot. There's certainly a little bit of problematic stuff in the early 1900s, late 1800s, but generally speaking, this Kabbalistic Tree of Life is in itself a very good framework to sort of hang up all kinds of occult and esoteric themes on it. You can do archangels, you can do elements, you can do planets, you can do different kinds of gods, because they each represent like a bunch of different things. I'm gonna actually put the tree over here so you can see. It's unfortunately, I guess we can't see the whole tree, but I'll go through them a little bit quickly as far as I remember them. And basically, what this is like an illustration of the world. It's in a macro perspective, this is the world. In a micro perspective, this is you. Each human being has a Tree of Life inside of them. And there are 4 worlds, of which Asya is the one we are aware of. I can never quite remember the name of these 4 worlds, so I am gonna I'm gonna go to the chapter on the Malkuth here. So the 4 worlds are basically, let me see here. Oh, my jaw is a little bit locked. I haven't been sleeping that well. So we have Atziluth, Braiha, Yetzirah, and Asya. Atziluth is like the ideal world. It's the final world. Briha or Bria, Yetzirah, Asya. And Asya is, I believe, no wait, it's the opposite way. I think Bria is the world that we kind of perceive as a spiritual world. I'm not well read up on this stuff, unfortunately. I wanted to read more, but I've been very busy this week. So we'll be kind of learning while we're moving on. But ideally, I want to create this Malkuth here, which is composed of 4 colors. It's composed of citrine, which is a kind of yellow, which unfortunately, let me see if I can find my beads here. My beads! It was a little bit of improvisation. I'm not entirely pleased with these colors, but they were the best ones I have. Citrine is more like a brownish yellow. This is more like a teddy bear yellow, but this will be working for our citrine, which is representing the element of air. because the Malkuth, or the kingdom, as it means, is sort of the sphere of earth, the sphere of the elements, the sphere of the physical realm. Then we have olive, which is actually a good color. This represents water. Let me think here. Yes, it represents water. This is, if yellow is east, water is. Wait, hold on a minute. That can't be right. Hold on. The music just stopped. I gotta look this up for a second because we have the 4 elements, right? And I'm pretty sure. Oh no, you know what it is? It's fire. It's fire. Air, fire. So this is fire. You wouldn't think of it, but olive is fire. That's why I was confused. And then you have black, which is in this case, I believe it's water, strangely enough. And then you have russet, which is a kind of a brown, which is earth. If I'm not mistaken. Let me look this up just in case. I don't wanna be spouting nonsense here. Earth, air, fire, and water. Exactly. Airs of the wise, earth of the wise, element of air and earth. There's no definition in it. Let's see here. In case you're wondering, my reference here is Dion Fortune's The Mystical Kabbalah. It's a pretty good introduction to esoteric subjects. I really like it myself. Very hands-on, not very BSy, as it were. However, yeah, these 3 modes of matter corresponds to 3 elements of earth, water, and air. So physical, liquid, firm, solid, liquid, and gaseous corresponds to earth, water, and air, respectively. But I'm just kind of thinking, does she actually explain the colors here? Let me get to the website that I was using as reference. Colors. Oh, colors. It's very difficult for me to type because my keyboard is a little bit further away. See, I am very unprepared for this. I should have spent a little bit more time preparing, but it's been a very, very busy week. Color symbolism in Malkuth. The 4 colors of Malkuth: citrine, olive, russet, and black. Color symbolism in Malkuth. Here we go. So, let's see here. Look up citrine. Because citrine I know is air. Citrine is the exotic color, just the child needs to be nurtured. The olive quarter relates to Sephirah at the end of these paths. Okay, it's not being overtly clear about this, but if we are to assume then that citrine is east, which is generally associated with air, then olive would be south, fire. Black, which I have somewhere around here. I'm very careful with the bag of black beads because I open it and it's been pouring out all over the place. But black then is yellow, is water, not yellow, is water. And then we have finally russet, which is this. Pardon me. This is sort of close to that, which is kind of sort of brownish red, and this would be earth in that sense, kind of like terracotta. It's much more complicated than that, but essentially the tree is composed of 10 Sephirah, which is, of course, if we go from top to bottom, Kether, Chokmah, Binah, I believe, yes, Chesed, Gevurah, Tifareth, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Hod, Yesod, and Malkuth. Now, there's a bunch of paths connecting these. There should be 22 of them all in all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There's a 22nd there somewhere. Maybe it's this one. I might have missed one. And they all represent, each one of them represents one letter from the Hebrew alphabet. And they all also represent one of the major arcanas. But we're not doing the path today. We're doing Malkuth, which is the 10 of all the tarot cards. So it's the 10 of swords, it's the 10 of wands, it's the 10 of cups, and the 10 of pentacles. there's a lot of stuff here that I'm throwing at you guys. So totally understandable if you're not familiar with these kind of things. It would be very difficult to kind of make sense out of it. But let me try to explain it in a sort of one step at a time. So essentially, you can kind of look at the Tree of Life as a funnel of energy, right? I'm trying to match up with the camera here. So the divine is coming from here. This is beyond human comprehension right here. This sphere up here. We can't even comprehend it. We can't even imagine it, right? We can only see up to here. We can only perceive up to here. This is Sephirah, the beauty. But this is even beyond our imagination. And this is where the divine energy comes from. And it comes down into Kether, which is the crown, which is the first of the three supernals, the three divine. This is the Trinity. This is the divine Trinity, right? And this is the crown, the Father, and the Mother. This is the crown. This is, I believe, wisdom and understanding. I believe. I'm not entirely sure about the terms here, but these three are also the tops of the three paths. So if you're into esoterica, you might have at some point heard the terms left-hand path and the right-hand path. Now the left-hand path is this path. This path is the path of the black pillar of Boaz, which is God is my strength. I believe that's what it means. And this is Yakin, which is the pillar that's the pillar of mercy. This is the pillar of severity. The pillar of mercy is Yakin, which means God has made me, I believe. Again, this is what I believe. I'm not 100% sure on the proper terminology, but I know that they're called Boaz and Yakin, right? And they're named after the pillars reportedly situated outside the Temple of Solomon, the original Temple of Solomon, right? He had this black and white pillar. So what this means is that the left-hand path is sort of the path to put it very simply, this is the path of like becoming God or becoming a god, and this is the path of becoming one with God. And then there's like the middle path, which is sort of a synchronity between these two paths. It's a very, very simplified explanation. It's not entirely how that works. And people argue about it a lot, but a lot of times like sexual magic, black magic, things we generally associate with like sort of morally gray or even morally dark stuff is on the left-hand path. And on the right-hand path, that's the very white magic, that is the healing magic, or possibly like communication with the divine, sort of aspiring to ascend, to join with the Holy Spirit, so to speak. And the middle path is kind of like a walking the thin, narrow path in between, walking the more difficult path, finding balance within yourself. You can kind of imagine this being like your darker self and this being your higher self, like the id of Jungian psychology, and this would be then the ego, or possibly even the superego. And this walking this path would be accepting your id and your ego and merging them, gaining power from your subconscious, your animal nature, while simultaneously transcending it and not letting it control you. It's a lot. But basically, this is generally the path a lot of schools of magic will teach you to walk, that you should subdue and then embrace your darker side before you are able to ascend. So this is the crown, Kether. Chakma is the father, and he is ironically on the top of the pillar of... Wait, hold on. Let me see here. Yes, he is on top of the pillar of mercy. And then you have the mother, Abba, which is called Binah, which is the endless ocean, basically. Hello, third party. Quiero. Hope you're doing okay. Good morning, third party. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm just explaining the Tree of Life right now. So I don't know how long you've been here, but basically this is when people talk about the right hand or the left hand path in magic, they go with this one, which is the pillar of severity, the pillar of strength, Boaz, which is more about like becoming God very loosely explained. And this is more about becoming one with God. This is the right-hand path, which is the white path. This is Jakin, the pillar of mercy. And in the middle, you have the middle pillar, which doesn't really have much of a name, which is sort of walking the thin line between your animal self and your divine self, like embracing it, not like subduing either side, right? So generally, we start all the way down here in Malkuth. This is the sphere we're going to be creating today. This is the human world, the physical world. This is also where like everything goes down into. You can kind of imagine it as sort of like fountains spilling over into the next one. So it goes like this, and then it goes down all the way down to Malkuth. But there's a bunch of different paths that things flow through. There's so many different relationships between these things. I don't know all of them, but it's a system. It's basically like a framework that you can hang up your magical work on if you want one. You don't have to use this. There's other ways to do it, but this is first of all pretty inundated into Western esotericism. So if you want to get into Western esotericism, this is a really good place to start. Again, I can strongly recommend Dune of Fortune's The Mystical Kabbalah. A very good book, very, very down to earth, as it were. Written to explain, not so much go into the esoteric. But yeah, these are the first three. There's the crown, the wisdom, and the understanding, I believe. I can actually look it up, just so I don't say the wrong thing. Let's see here. Kether, the first Sephirah. I know that one's the crown. I always remember that one. The second one is wisdom, Chokmah, which is the father. And then the third one is Binah, which is understanding. There you go. I was right. Binah is understanding. It's a mature woman, it's a matron, it's the higher mother. So the father and the mother. And they both stand at the top of their, each represent a respective pillar. Oh, you will look into it, Smart Frog. I don't know if I'm smart. I keep forgetting stuff. But yeah, then we have, so it's Kether, Chokmah, Binah. And then it goes down here. Now this tree is interesting because it doesn't draw that connection, which is actually, it's supposed to go like this, right? So it goes like a lightning bolt down. So it goes like this, and then it comes down to Chesed, which is, if I'm not mistaken, love, or this is strength. This is mercy. Strength and mercy. No, mercy. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen at the same time. Oh, thank you for the head pads. Hold on, let me put them on. Let me get the head pads going. I also have a really nasty headache again. I took my meds last night before I went to sleep, and then I took them again this morning. So maybe I've OD'd on SSRIs, which just means I'm gonna be super chill whenever they kick in. Chesed is mercy. Okay, cool, good, thank you. Then Chesed is here, which is also called Gedula. That will become relevant later, because we are going to do the lesser ritual of the pentagram, the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, and the lesser banishing ritual of the hexagram on paper. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be reversed for you guys, because I don't think I can do it upside down. I don't think I should do it upside down, but also I don't think I can physically do it well. But Chesed is mercy, which is of course on the pillar of mercy, and this is the pillar of severity. So severity or strength is over here. This is Gebura. Gedula, Gebura. But this is Chesed. Chesed is easier to remember. Gedula is another name for Chesed. And now this is the merciful father. Now this is another triangle. We have the first triangle, which is the crown, the father, and the mother. And these are very, very, very abstract concepts. Like these are not human at all, right? These are so beyond our understanding of things. This is like the divine sexuality of like the creation of the universe, that kind of thing. Also interesting to note, if you just have a point in the middle of nowhere, you can't use that for much, right? But then you have a line. Yeah, it gives you the tree of death. Yeah, it would give me the Clyfoth. I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna do it in my direction, and then I'll just flip it around so you guys can see how it should look. But yeah, this is like the emanation of light, and it hits a point, right? It hits a point. Suddenly you have a distance, and then it triangulates. Suddenly you have the relationship. Now you can actually find stuff, because if you have 3 points, you can pretty easily find someplace in the world. Triangulation. But then it emanates down into Chesed, mercy, and Geura, strength, and Tifareth, beauty. So mercy, strength, and beauty. Now this is sort of what we think about when we think about God in Christianity. We have the Father, sort of, who is merciful, the ruler who is merciful and wise. Then we have the general, the warrior father, who is, I would say, powerful, vengeful, strikes down your enemies. And then we have the sacrificial father, or the sacrificial son, the beauty of creation. This is a reflection of the light of Kether. This is Jesus Christ, if you are a Christian Kabbalist, for example, in the sense that this is the highest up in the tree that we can see. Because we're at the bottom, right? This is the highest up that we can kind of visualize. It's more complicated than that, but again, I'm not an expert. But this right here, Tifareth, this is like the beauty of the world. This is the pure beauty. This makes you cry when you see it, basically. This is just, wow, God's creation is amazing, woohoo. And then, this is, I don't recall quite what this triangle is called. I kind of like to call it the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Not necessarily the appropriate naming for it. And then we have the last triangle, which is Netzach, victory. Victory, Netzach. And Hod, which is... Oh, what did Hod mean again? Hold on. I got it on the tip of my tongue. I can't help but make comparisons with Lobotomy Corporation. Yeah, I mean, they obviously got a lot of inspiration from this stuff. Hod is... Is Hod love? I know this is foundation. This is basis. Yesod. Let me look up Hod again. Damn, I should know this stuff. Yesod is the foundation. Hod is glory. Glory, of course. So victory and glory. Yeah, it's glory. Thank you. Thank you for looking it up. Victory, glory. This is also in some ways considered like the primal sexual power of nature. And this is the sterile intellectual world of the magician. This is like Thoth is here, right? And this is more like Freya in Norse mythology, like sexuality, nature, that kind of thing, sort of. Again, it's a little bit mixed. And then we have Yesod, which is like the spiritual world, the dream world, imagination. This is like, I'm not well read up on this. This is why we're doing one at a time, because Malkuth, the kingdom, this is the bottom. This is where our physical bodies are at. And below this is the Qliphoth. This is like all the dirty garbage stuff is just pours out of Malkuth into the Qliphoth. So the Qliphoth is like the reverse tree of life. It's the husks. It's like the leftovers, right? That's where demons and stuff live, or evil, if you are into that. If you want to see it, evil is kind of a weird concept in occultism or esotericism, because it doesn't necessarily mean what we think it means. It depends really on how you believe in it. Malkuth is what we're going to be making today. Malkuth is the elemental sphere. It's the physical sphere. This is where all the planets are, but their energies are further up on the tree. But Malkuth is where we all start out. This is what we can perceive with our naked eyes. We have all the four elements here. We have our society, but it's divine. It's still divine, right? It's still part of the tree of life, but it's a little bit of a leftover thing. Now this tree actually shows the three paths going down to Malkuth, but sometimes only this path is shown. And some people argue that when the serpent tempted Eve to eat the fruit of knowledge, this thing fell off. This was like the result that this happened. We went from being here to here. We became aware of our surroundings. So technically you could say that maybe animals would be here. I don't know, but like because of our understanding, we got another perspective on the tree of life. This is also your body. So if you go to the Kether, this is like the crown on top of your head. These are your shoulders. And then you go down to your arms, your heart, legs, groin, your reproductive organs, and then the anus, or the feet. Animals aren't supposed to have souls. Yeah, they wouldn't even be on here. You're right. This is true. This is the anus. Yeah, it's okay. I don't have a soul. It just means I can do this stuff without worrying for my soul. The anus and the feet are down here because this is the excretory system. This is where all the bad stuff goes out. And this is the genitals. This is our generative organs, basically. So this is also a map of the human body. And if you play Persona 5, you have Adam Kadmon, which is the perfect man, which is like an illustration of this. Persona is cool. I like it. But you know what? Before we continue with this stuff, we are actually going to do the rituals. I have my 2 candles here. I have my own Jakin and Boaz here. But I'm not going to light them because I don't want to have fire around my equipment. I don't want to burn any of my cables. And I don't want to start a fire. So these will be spiritually lit. We will imagine that these candles are lit. But they are not. These concrete blocks I actually got from my uncle's wife, who's she makes art with concrete. I didn't ask for them, I got them, but I think if you get something in pairs and one of them is a little bit darker than the other, you know, why look a gift temple of Solomon in the mouth. I am gonna light this. This is my little incense burner. We are going to be lighting some incense. And don't worry, it is 100% legal. It is frankincense. I just need to find the bag. Because I like the smell of frankincense. Oh no. I thought I had the... Yeah, so I've used... maybe the camera's going to be a little bit in this angle now. But I've used some putty to kind of put everything in place so I don't accidentally dox myself. But you know, if accidents happen, if they happen. This is frankincense. It doesn't say on it. The people at the store didn't know if it was frankincense or not, which, you know, quite frankly, you know, what are you doing? You're running a bookshop selling incense, and you don't even know what incense you got. And we're going to use quite a lot of this. It's going to smell for me. When in doubt, wear a balaclava. You know, you're right. I am wearing my... I bought these at Camden Market many years ago. They're still fine. So I'm wearing gloves just to hide most of my hands. So we're gonna light this incense right now. And let's not put it too close. So this is gonna start producing smoke pretty soon. It smells really nice. And then I'm gonna change some music. I'm gonna put this, and I'm not gonna have this here because smoke is gonna go straight up to the camera. The heat is gonna go up to the camera. We don't want that. So, did I put it too high up? Generally, an incense burner, if you want to have an incense burner, this is a good one for like small stuff, but this doesn't last for very long. I mean, it leaves a smell. One thing I've noticed with frankincense is that you get used to the smell very quickly, and you kind of forget that it's there, which is, you know, the purpose of incense. It's just supposed to sort of put you in the right mood. It's like, you know, mood candles when you're having a nice dinner. There we go. I'm a little bit sniffly, so I might not be able to smell it that well. Also, by the way, we're gonna write the name of the Sephirah on here. Hopefully, it will fit because you write in Hebrew. Okay, I'm gonna draw the rituals that we're doing, and I'm going to draw them for myself. And I will go through the steps first before we do them. Actually, I will go through the steps. I will draw them for myself. This is not the ritual. That's very important. We'll do the ritual later. But what we're doing, is we're doing something called the Rite of the Kabbalistic Cross. So the CCR, or the KCR, the Kabbalistic Cross, which is actually the prayer to the Father. I don't recall the name of it in English, but it's essentially, "O Father who art in heaven, blessed be thy name," but it's a little bit different. So what you do is you stand facing east. This is east, right here, east. So now we know that east is in this direction, right? You stand facing east. And you imagine yourself growing, right? You imagine yourself standing on Earth, and you're growing. You're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Eventually, you are in space. Eventually, the Milky Way is much smaller than you are. You're in the cosmos of space, and above you is the light of creation. Above you is Kether, and beyond Kether is even more divine light, right? So you imagine yourself in that situation. That's what you have to visualize, and then you vibrate. Now, vibrating is vague. You kind of have to find your own way of vibrating. For me, it'd be like Ata or Ota. Like you wanna vibrate. The important part isn't that it's loud. The important part is that you are communicating in a way that you normally wouldn't be, to kind of get in touch with these spirits. So what you do is you point at either your forehead. Well, I guess you let's say you point at your forehead with your right hand. You either have a knife, which a ritual knife or some ceremonial knife or dagger, or you can just use your fingers. So with your right hand, this is important. Always do it with your right hand. You would point at your forehead and you would say Ata, Ata, which is you are. So you start with Ata, and then you go down to your chest. And as you do this, you imagine a beam of light projecting above your head. When you say Ata, a beam of light goes straight up into the light above you. And then when you move your hand down, and you say Malkuth, which is you're the kingdom. You are the kingdom. So you go down, and then you imagine a beam of light going this way as well. You're just going straight down into the world. Malkuth, if you recall, is the kingdom. So here you're going from you are, as in God, you are, down to the kingdom. You are the kingdom. And then you go up and you go to your right shoulder. So for me, it's over here. And you imagine a beam of light, and you say, Ve Gebura. You are the kingdom. The power, I guess you could call it, Ve Gebura, the power, strength. You are the strength. And you imagine this beam of light going this direction, and then you go to your left shoulder, and you say, Ve Gedula, which is, of course, the mercy. Or the glory, however you want to say it. It's. I don't actually know the appropriate translations in English. In Swedish, du är riket, makten och härligheten, which is the glory or the light, I guess you could call it. So let's call it the light. I don't know this prayer in English, the Lord's Prayer. And you imagine another beam of light going this way. You're still standing facing east, but this is like on a two-dimensional plane. It's up and to the sides. That's the important part. Let me just. Okay, yeah, the incense is smelling, but it's not warming anything. And then you go back and you do 3 or more counter-circular movements while holding your finger up. So you're like rotating. You're rotating in the center while you say Leolam. This is not how it's spelled, but you say Leolam, which is in eternity. So you are the kingdom, the power, and the delight, or the glory, or however you want to say it, in eternity. And then you close your arms, or you close your hands in front of you, forming a cross with your body, so your elbows have to be straight out, and you say Amen. So, you are the kingdom, the power, and the delight, I guess that's the term I would use, in eternity. Amen. And Amen is let that happen, let it be. Amen means and so it happened, and thus. It's a little bit vague, but it's basically like an affirmative, and it happens. So this is the Kabbalistic cross of the rite of the cross. This is the first part of the lesser banishing ritual pentagram. Then, if you have a little shrine or whatever that you're doing it for, you would ideally go clockwise to the east of there, facing east. And you would draw, with your right hand again, a large pentagram in the air. I'm going to show you this. So, Ata, Malkuth, Vegebura, Vegedula, Leolam, Amen. Then you go to the east, facing east, and you draw a pentagram. And this is the LBRP, the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. And this is a very good ritual to learn in the beginning, because this is a ritual that purifies and cleanses your surrounding in your mind. It removes negative spirits. So you want to start at the bottom left. And you draw a line up, And while you're doing this, you're visualizing a blue cross. And you say, you go up and then you go down like this, and then you just draw your usual pentagram. And the important part here is that the pentagram represents the physical world and the elements. So I'm going to draw it up here. At the bottom left, we have Earth, which is an upside down triangle with a line through it. I'll flip it around soon. At the top, we have Spirit. This is the governing spirit of everything. And then, if I recall, I believe that fire is over here, air is over here, and water is over here. Let me just make sure that I am saying this right. Element pentagrams. Fire and water, I'm not entirely sure of. Element pentagram. This is why I'm still a student. I don't want to mix them up. Oh yeah, I was right. Okay, so fire is here at the bottom. So I'll turn it around to show you guys. You start out with earth, you move up to spirit, then you move down to fire, you move over to air, and then you move over to water, and then you move back down to earth. That's why it's called the lesser banishing ritual pentagram of the earth. If you're invoking the lesser invoking pentagram, ritual of the pentagram, which you shouldn't be doing unless you're invoking spirits, you would start with in spirit, and you would go down to earth, and then trace it backwards, the opposite direction. You don't do them upside down. Don't do upside down pentagrams. This is man. This is humanity. This is our physical world. Yeah, unless you know what you're doing. Yeah, unless you know what you're doing. If you're invoking, which we're not doing, we're banishing, because we don't want to have spirits hanging over our shoulder looking at what we're doing, right? So we want to banish. We're doing the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. And you do this whole thing, and you repeat either during it or afterwards. And this pentagram is blue light, by the way. So either when you're doing it or when you're done, you say Yodevave or Yehovah. But Yehovah has 3 syllables, and God is known as tetragrammaton because God is almost always written with 4 characters. Tetragrammaton, or God. I say God, but the higher spirit, whatever you want to call it. So you want to say Yodevave. I like to kind of add a little bit of sort of almost like a chant to my vibrations, but it's entirely up to how you want to do it. So and then you sort of imagine that the blue light is projecting out, that the pentagram is projecting to the corners of the earth, to the east. Then you trace a circle to the north, and then you do the exact same thing, but you don't say Yod-Heh-Vav this time. That's one name of God. This time you say Adonai. I can draw this up here, so it's easier to remember. Adonai is, of course, another name for God, and so it's Yod He Va He Adonai. Is it A again? Adonai. I guess it's like Adna. Let's go with Adna. It's Adonai, right? Yeah, Yod He Va He. Yes. It's spelled a little bit different. If you want to write Yod-Heh-Vav in Hebrew, it would be Yod, He, Vav, and then like a He, but with like a little dot in it. So this is how you would write Yod-Heh-Vav He. You would write it in Hebrew. So Adonai, you project the pentagram again. You imagine it just going bigger, going to the corner of the world in north. Then here is Eheye, which is I am. So Ata is you are, Eheye, I am that I am, right? If you remember the story of Moses seeing the fire in the bush, I am. That's another name of God, Eheye. So Eheye in the west. And then finally this is the south, not north, south, sorry. Over here we have Agala, which is an acronym or Adonai, something. I don't have it in my head right now, which I should. I should remember it. But this is another name of God, Agla, basically. And then, so you go clockwise around, and then you end up here in east again. This is not very pedagogical. It's all over the place, right? But I'm going to do it, and you guys can follow along if you want. You don't have to. And I'm doing this mostly, I won't be walking around. I'll be doing this mentally, but I will be tracing these routes in my mind. You can do this mentally. You can be quiet while doing it. The vibration doesn't have to be on the physical plane. But when you're starting out, it's better to do it vocally, because then it's easier for you to kind of manifest this mental energy that you're doing. Now, I'm telling this, you don't have to do it. You don't have to believe in it. I don't know if I believe in it or not, but I am taking it seriously. I respect it. It's an old tradition. It's an old method. It's an established method. I respect it. Unless you're sending some kind of signal, I said. Yes, exactly. You're sending a signal. You're communicating with forces beyond the physical world. So when you finish all this and you're facing east again, you want to stand with your arms out to your side, right? You want to have like your arms out. Facing east, and now you're invoking the guardian angels. That's the next step. So in the east, you say, you can say, in front of me, Raphael. East is Raphael. He's the archangel of the east and of wind. Behind me, Gabriel. Gabriel is the archangel of water and in the west. To my right, this would be south, Michael. Michael is the archangel of fire, and the south. To my left, Uriel, or Auriel. It's a little bit different. We say Uriel in Sweden. So I would say, to my left, Uriel. And then in front of me, flames the pentagram. Behind me, shines the six-pointed star. There's all kinds of variations of this. This is a very well established. You can go to Wikipedia and look it up. Basically, this has been around for a while. The lesser banishing ritual of the hexagram is what you do afterward. Actually, before you do anything else, you want to do the rite of the Kabbalistic cross again. So you want to like finish that one with the rite of the Kabbalistic cross. But yeah, the lesser banishing ritual, the hexagram, is pretty. It's not quite as known as the pentagram. You know what? I don't think we need to do it because the LBRH is a little bit. Let's not do it now. But it actually banishes positive energies as well, like energies from the right hand path. This is for the left hand path and the elements, banishing elements. The LBRP is more than enough for what we're doing, and honestly, if you're just starting out, that's what you should be doing. So the LBRH, we don't really need to do that now, and we might not. We want to go on and start crafting things. That's why we're here. We've already spent 45 minutes explaining this. Okay, so we will imagine that my two candles are lit. This is the pillar of mercy, pillar of severity, Yakin and Boaz. So we're standing facing east. I'm technically not facing east right now, but that's fine as well. You don't actually have to know exactly where east is. There's plenty to explain. There is, that's true. So I'm gonna do this now, and I'm going to visualize it on the paper so you can follow me. Okay, you wanna take a couple of breaths. And actually, before we do that, I'm going to put on another playlist because this music feels a little bit inappropriate for what we're doing. I like my theme song just fine, but evocation, lo-fi. Let's see if we can find some kind of work. Let's see here. Oblivion, lo-fi, 1 hour, Uncle Iroh, Ancestor Mix, Shadowlands, lo-fi, Ironwall, Eevee, World of Warcraft, Shadowlands. That's not a very long mix. What is this music? Well, it's an ad. Let's switch accounts. Hey, this is good music. This is good music. Let's go with it. Soothing Nymph. Is the audio fine? Is it too loud? Is the music too loud? Lo-fi beats to perform ancient rituals too. Exactly. But yeah, the Lord's Prayer in Christianity is basically the Kabbalistic ritual of the cross. It's very similar. The difference is that I believe in Christianity, you would start with your left shoulder and go to the right. But in Kabbalah, you start with your right shoulder and you go to your left. And that is because you are not visualizing the tree of life, which is sort of what's happening during the normal prayer. You are the tree of life during the Kabbalistic rite of the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram and the Kabbalistic rite of the cross. So you are the tree of life. You are evoking it into yourself. Okay. Take a couple of breaths, and now we sort of imagine ourselves growing larger. I'm just going to do it now, and you can follow along if you want. You don't have to, if you don't want to. East is in this direction. I'm going to draw a person first. Very poorly, I might add. That's fine. Before me, Mikael. Oop, messed up. Before me, Raphael. Behind me, Gabriel. To the right of me, Mikael. To the left of me, before me shines the pentagram, behind me lights the six-pointed star. Ata, Malkuth, Egevura, Egedula, Leolam. Michael tends to not be where I want him to be. I think that's kind of related to how I tend to do things a little too fast. So I'm very south energy, very fiery. There's a couple of other things I can draw up the traditional how would you call it fiery frog, yeah. You can draw up how you would imagine the planets, because this is the planetary energies in the six-pointed star, right? Oh, also, this is, of course, how I did things. This is the first time I've done it over paper, so I'm gonna blame it on me being nervous. Generally, if you're making a lesser banishing ritual of the hexagram, you want to start up here. This is Saturn, and then you go down to Mercury. Then you go here to Venus, and then you go up again. And then you start with Luna, the moon. You go up to Jupiter, and then you go over here to Mars, and then you go back down. And this is called the hexagram of Saturn. There's a bunch of different hexagrams you can make, really, and this, I'm not going to go into this, but the planets play a major role in the Kabbalah and in alchemy and all those kind of things. So you have Saturn, Mercury, Venus, Luna, Jupiter, and Mars. Now, in Kabbalah, there's only 7 planets, right? There's only those 7 planets. Of course, there are more planets. We know that now, but they didn't use them. So instead, they used something called Caput Draconis, which is like the ascendant movements. And then I never remember what this one is called, but this one is the tail of the dragon. So the head of the dragon and the tail of the dragon. They would use these symbols. And I do believe that they correspond to Uranus or Uranus and Neptune, which of course are usually not included in like classical astronomy. Or astrology, rather. And then you have Pluto. Nobody cares about Pluto. We don't talk about Pluto. So Pluto is down here. So that's sort of the long and short of it. And the thing about this and the elements is that, again, in Malkuth, we have all the 4 elements. They're all represented in Malkuth. Pluto, my beloved. Yeah. So these are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Can draw the other symbols again. We have Sol, which is actually Sol, it's here in the middle, the sun. Sol, Mercury. Oh, whoops, I messed that up. Hold on. Oops, I keep dropping my eraser. Mercury, over here. Make the music a little bit louder, I think. Hold on. Oop. Oh, that might actually be a little bit too loud. Sorry. It's probably a lot louder for you guys than it is for me. Venus. We don't usually include Earth. Oh, well, I'm a little bit heavy-handed. So Luna, Mars, and then we have Jupiter. Very ugly Jupiter character there. Saturn. So those are the 7 celestial bodies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they all show up in the hexagram. Then you, of course, also have the solar signs, or the astrological signs. So there's the air signs. There is the earth signs. There are, fire signs and water signs. These are classical characters for the elements. If you turn them around, air, earth, fire, water. Water goes down. It is God going down to humanity. And fire goes up. It is humanity trying to transcend to God. And then you have same symbols here. And together, they of course form a hexagram, which is the symbol of God, spirituality. So, if we start with, I made them in the wrong order here, but I believe that fire is the first sign. So we have Aries, then we have Earth, which is, of course, Taurus. It's my sign. Then we have Air, which is Gemini. And then we have Cancer, which is a water sign. First signs. Then we have Leo, fire sign. Then we have Virgo, earth sign. Then we have Libra, air sign. Then we have Scorpio, water sign. Then we have, after Scorpio, we have another fire sign, Sagittarius. Then we have Capricorn. Can never really draw that one correct, which is an earth sign. Then we have Aquarius, which ironically is an air sign. And then Pisces, which is a water sign. The astrological signs are here as well. So this is when people talk about earth signs, for example. Now, astrology is a very, 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 very complicated subject that, for example, Alien Fungus, she's really, really good at this stuff. She knows what she's talking about. I mostly just know the correspondent. Like, I kind of know the Sephirah of them, I think. But generally, they also have like their different elements. If you go into alchemy, for example, you will often encounter these symbols: salt, sulfur, and mercury. And these are considered the three like fundamental elements of alchemy: salt, sulfur, and mercury. And sulfur is actually the feminine force, salt is the masculine force, and mercury is sort of the spiritual force. So with these three, you kind of create everything, sort of. It's a very basic alchemical idea. But I think that's about enough. That's about enough of a lecture. Let's create our beads. So the problem here again is this is not perfectly split. So I'm a little bit torn on how to do this. It's not going to be perfect. So I might have to do lines dividing them, which I'm not a fan of. So what we're going to do, we are going to start from the outside. That's what we're gonna do. I wish I had like a little grippy thingy. Oh, thank you for the water. Yum, 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 yum. Thank you, third party. Thank you for moisturizing the frog. Hold on. And if you have any questions about what we just covered, just let me know. I really wish I had like a grabby thingy. Let me look at my tools for my painting. Maybe I have one there. Hold on. Not. Oh yeah, I do. I have a small one that's doesn't have a very strong grip, which is just fine. Whoop! Wow, there's the brush. This one is good because I like using pincers. What are they called? Whatever they're called, I like using those. No questions just yet. Okay, good. I mean, if we want to, there's one more thing we could do before we start, which honestly I'd love to do. So let's shuffle the cards a little bit and split them up. Let's do the thing you're not supposed to do. 1, 2, and 3, and we'll draw a card. The Knight of Cups. What does the Knight of Cups mean? Obviously, immediately you would think about the Holy Grail. Let's go to Biddy Tarot, because again, not very read up on all the different cards. But immediately the Knights of the Holy Grail come to mind. This is a man on a mission, on a quest. He has retrieved the Holy Grail, which shows that he has been successful. It's about romance and beauty, creativity, imagination. A very suitable card for what we're about to do. I'm gonna read. We're gonna learn here. In the Knight of Cups, a knight rides on a white horse and holds out a golden cup as if he bears a message from the heart. Over his armor, the knight wears a cloak covered with images of fish, the symbol of water, consciousness, and creativity. His helmet and boots are winged, a symbol of an active and creative imagination and an appreciation for beautiful things. Unlike the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Swords, the horse in the Knight of Cups is not charging forward, but instead moves slowly and gracefully, giving an air of calmness and peace. The horse represents power, energy, and drive, and the color white is a symbol of purity, spirituality, and light. This is a very, very suitable card for what we're doing right now. The background is mostly barren, except for some trees far away, and the river that flows through, symbolizing the power of the emotion and imagination to create a new life force, even where it may seem that there is none. And this is the Rider-Waite's cards. They were created by people, the sort of the same people who were the original or early members of the Golden Dawn Order. So, classic romantic of the tarot deck. Yeah, we didn't get a reverse. We don't talk about reverse here. A new project could be emerging. Overactive imagination, unrealistic. Let's not focus on that. So, Knight of Cups. Good card to get. Let's put him here. Okay, let's start by making the outer ring. That's what we're gonna do. So where did I put the black beads? There we go. Now I'm gonna do something scary. I'm gonna pour them out a few of them. So hopefully they don't go all over the place. I used to do, at one point in my life, I was so poor that for one Christmas, I was making beads for my family as Christmas gifts because I couldn't afford anything else. So I made little fridge magnets for everyone with their faces on them. Obviously using a very limited range of colors. So that was not a great time. That was not a great time. They appreciated them just fine, but I was like, this is all I can afford. I'm very sorry. My bills are high and I'm a poor little student. I can't do anything else. I can't afford anything else. I moved away from home pretty early. Well, I mean, this is of course the very imagined backstory of Kuku Kaeru the human and not Kuku Kaeru the frog, because again, I was a lab animal. My caretaker accidentally put me in the microwave oven, and then they felt bad for me and put me in this cybernetic body. But yeah, I very early moved away from home, and I had to sort of fend for myself a little bit. I was able to borrow money with very generous interest, but it was a rough time. I was working part-time, I was studying full-time. Didn't have a very nice early 20s. They were stressful. So I'm glad I can sort of do this as more than just a way of sort of trying to get order in a very chaotic life. And I think, like I was talking about yesterday with Minecraft, I think a lot of us just want structure and predictability in our lives. We don't want to. Sorry, by the way, if my model falls asleep when I'm doing this. I'm looking down at what I'm doing. Maybe I could just look at the camera, but no, it doesn't match my movements, so that's scary. But I do think that it's important to find a way to center yourself, to find that middle path, which is the path of balance. Balance in all things. Proper balance, yin and yang. I mean, yeah, the pillar of darkness and the pillar of white, of severity and mercy. It's yin and yang. It's the same concept. You gotta have darkness to appreciate light. You gotta have light to protect yourself against the darkness. Peaceful frog, yeah. Hope the music is not too loud. I'm gonna do a little bit of talking every now and then, but I'm not gonna be quite as chatty, depending on, of course, if you have questions or if you want to ask me about something. But let's just try to focus on the presence. I think mindfulness is a sad thing that exists, that people sell mindfulness stuff, because mindfulness is just letting go of the world around us and appreciating the now, which is something we used to be very, very good at. But as civilization moved on and our core values kind of changed, we tried to use money to buy a peace of mind, and I don't think that works. I really don't. Like, I get more peace of mind out walking in the woods or just, contemplating beautiful art than I do from some kind of self-help course that I'm paying for, or going out bungee jumping. I don't do bungee jumping, but like a lot of this stuff, like escape rooms and those sort of things, they're really just a very elaborate excuse for us to be mindful, to be in the center of our world. To kind of stop thinking about tomorrow, to stop thinking about our mortgage, to stop thinking about our mortality, and just live, which animals do all the time. Animals are very good at that. Animals just live. Animals, however, shit in the woods and don't have toilet paper. So I'd say we are, on the bigger whole, we're superior. But animals certainly don't. I mean, animals can develop anxiety. I think my cat is a very anxious cat in general. He gets scared very easily, and I think he's got some trauma. But that kind of goes into the category of like, do animals have intelligence? And we like to think in binary. We like to think that, oh yeah, either you're intelligent or you're not intelligent, or we like to compare like, oh yeah, it's about as intelligent as a toddler or whatever. But really, intelligence is so much more complex and nuanced than that. And certain animals have developed certain traits, certain skills through evolution that we have to learn, and vice versa. We can learn animals to act teach animals rather to act in a certain way. It's all like a big old jumble of everything, really. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is that you don't have to pay an awful lot of money to be mindful. Like, I know a lot of people, like, playing games is a way to be mindful as well. Like, it's a way to just turn off your worries and anxieties. But it can be a poison too, right? Because if you do it too much, if you just escape your reality and you just go into, like, if you become hikikomori and like, nah, I don't want it, I can't stand it. If you go neat and be like, nah, society can suck it. I think you're poisoning yourself on mindfulness in that sense, because you're just kind of running away from your problems. So mindfulness should also be sort of a method to just take a break from your problems in order for your brain to sort of subconsciously deal with them, right? It's something you gotta find yourself. Yeah, exactly. But I do feel like a lot of people just purchase what they believe is mindfulness, which is just an experience. I don't like giving experiences as gifts. I hated that trend where you would buy someone a gift box. Oh, you can go sample wines, or you can go to a spa. It's like, no, if you want to go to a spa, you go to a spa, right? If you don't want to go to a spa, if you get that as a gift, chances are you might like not even want to go there. So I think giving experiences as gifts, that's bad. What I do think you can give, like, I like giving not incense, what do they call it? Well, incense sticks, or like, those when you put sticks in like oil and they smell good. I like to give scented candles. I like to give good food, I guess, because stuff that I appreciate, stuff that I enjoy, because it has to come from me. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna create like a triangle of black and see if we can do it. I'm not too sure if we can do it. I really am not. But we're gonna start with black, because black is the color of west in Malkuth, and I figured, we'll start like this, because black, it's easier to work with. This is not gonna be a whole quarter of this. I don't like that I picked this parallel thing. It's not it's not symmetrical. Well, I mean, it is symmetrical, but it's not. It doesn't make for very easy partitioning, is what I'm trying to get at. So it's gonna look better from a distance, I'm sure, once this is done. But right now it's kind of messy, which is why I'm starting with black, because black, like, I can move things around easier with. I don't know. Maybe I can't move things around easier with black. I don't know. Let's see. Whoop. Drop the black here. I gotta say, I really appreciate these crafting streams. I would love to paint more figurines. I would love to paint more Tyranids. I really, really like my color scheme. I think it came out super well. I think I made it a little bit too simple. But on the other hand, is also painting gaunts, right? Gaunts, there's gonna be a lot of them. So if you were making an army, you don't want to paint gaunts separately and make them super detailed. I think I even put too much time into just one of them. Like, I know my friend a long time ago was painting gaunts. I think he spent like 15 minutes per model on them, but he wanted an army he could play, right? I don't want that. I don't want to play Warhammer. Maybe Kill Team at some point. I don't think Tyranids necessarily make for very good Kill Team armies. I don't know. I legitimately don't know, so I'm not saying that they don't, but I would assume that they don't. I think Space Marines are probably the best ones, or like what are they called? These super duper space marines, the golden boys, whatever they're called, Emperor's personal guard. I hate them. I don't like those models. I struggle with just like the Grey Knights. I think the Grey Knights are very superfluous. I don't think they should be their own army. It's Space Marines, but better. And I think that kind of undermines Space Marines as like the best faction in the setting, or like the best individual soldiers. It's just like, it's like, isn't it enough? Custodes. Those are the ones, yeah. Isn't it enough the Space Marines are amazing, overpowered humans? No, they gotta be psychers too, and even better. I think it's like anime power creep in tabletop format. Custodes are even worse. Like, man, I don't want to play that. I think Space Marines are more than fine. More than fine. To me, it feels like the Grey Knights and the Custodes just came out of people who are like, I want to play even cooler armies. I want to be the coolest of the coolest. Space Marines already are the coolest of the coolest. We don't need to be cooler. Feels superfluous, unnecessary. Let's see here. Well, this is certainly becoming a triangle, but I don't know. You know what? I'll do like I'll do a triangle like this of every color, and then I'll like work outwards. I'll work out from this. So I'll make a small triangle like this, because this is not a fourth, for sure. So I'll make that of each color, and then I'll kind of just move them closer to each other, like expand them slowly. Expansion fetish. This is not going to take very, very long, I think. Yeah, Matt Ward. Ugh, Matt Ward. Like, I genuinely like the Ultramarines. I like raw boat girly man. I really, really like his Imperium Secundus, and like, he is genuinely an interesting character in the setting, because he feels like a very reasonable guy. I mean, comparatively, he's still like a Primarch, but he feels like someone just woke up and like, what the hell is going on? And like, even when he was trying to make the second Imperium, it was because he was like, yeah, this is not working. The Emperor is not as good of a leader as we want him to be, and he was trying to fix it. I can kind of relate to that. He's definitely a Taurus. Robot Guilliman is definitely a Taurus. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate that they moved the lore forward, because, I mean, how long were we stuck in the 41st millennia? And everything was always right on the edge of sucking really bad. And I think that was the right move to do. That was during a very, very brief time where GW was actually a good company. They fired their entire board of directors, I think. They kind of came up with a lot of new cool concepts. They involved the community a lot more. It was 2016 or 17 or something. And then they just went back to what they used to do. And things just went back to the old ways. Yeah, he's legitimately flawed. I like that. And that's the thing, right? If you like Horus Heresy, I like those books just fine. But I'm not a fan of the fact that Horus got tricked into becoming evil. Because that's really what happened, right? Horus had it in him. Horus had it in him, but he was still loyal to the Emperor. He had his doubts and stuff like that. And then you know, Elibus, or whatever his name is, comes along, and he creates an illusion. He shows Horus, well, first of all, he practically kills him, right? With the sword. So he's dying. He's dying. Horus is dying. And then he's shown a vision of the actual future, but is told that that's what the Emperor wants. So he's lied to, and he's manipulated, and he's tricked into becoming evil. It's really bad writing. It's fucking Erebus, yeah. It's really bad writing, because that kind of undermines the whole thing of the Horus Heresy being like a legitimate thing in the beginning, because they have a legitimate reason for it. The Emperor is acting like a douche nozzle. He's not telling everyone his plans, and there's a bunch of distrust. All of the Primarchs are really flawed, and like, there's already this going on. You don't have to have Horus be manipulated into becoming evil. My idea for how they could have done that is to simply have Horus start out as just a plain old revolution. Maybe he will be approached by the word bearers and they'll be like, hey, these demons, they can help us out. And Horus is going to be like, no, we're going to win this on our own. I'm going to prove to my father that I have the best interest of the galaxy in mind. Like, it should start out as something noble. At least, like, the best villains are the ones who think what they're doing is right. Even though they're doing bad things, they have to think that what they're doing is the right thing to do. So you want to start out with Horus not relying on chaos. I mean, the word bearers can do it. The word bearers can do it, and then, subtle manipulation here and there, and the occasional, like, chapter of Astartes can convert, things like that. But Horus should be losing. He should be losing the war, and eventually, just finally, as like a final attempt, he will be like, okay, fine, let's do it. Let's make a deal. And then, like a Faustian deal, he will slowly succumb to chaos. He shouldn't just be like, okay, I'm evil now. It's such poor writing. I legitimately don't like that. Hello, Momo, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Sorry, I'm just rambling on about 40k. We've been doing some ritual magic before you came. We have invoked the Knight of Cups, which is a card that represents creativity. So that's actually really good. We pull that card, and it's about, like, lots of creative energy going on, which is what's happening right now. We did the lesser banishing ritual at the pentagram, which you can look up online if you want to. And I talked a lot about the different Sephirah, right? The different nodes on the Tree of Life, the Otzjim or Ahzjim, or however it's pronounced. I'm really bad at that. But what we're doing now is we're creating the very first or very last, depending on how you look at it, Sephirah, called Malkuth, the kingdom. And it's composed of 4 different colors. Oh, it's very relaxing. I love it. It's 4 different colors. It's black in the west, and that represents water, I guess. In the east, it's citrine, kind of a brownish yellow. We're going for more of a honey yellow. And then in the north, it's russet, which is like a reddish brown, or a brownish red rather, which I don't really have a good color for, so we're going with more of a reddish brown. And then in the north, or south, sorry, it's olive. So this is the west. Now we're going to turn this around, and we're going to do citrine in the opposite direction. So we're going to open the citrine. I feel like, yeah, we're going to have to go here. Okay, so I'm going to put away the blacks for now. Those beads are, this is a really, really big bag of it. We're being extra peaceful. I'll listen to this while playing Portal. Oh, you're playing a really good game. I love it. Okay, so here's citrine, which is not citrine. Citrine is more of a brownish yellow, really. But I don't have that, so we're just going with more of a golden yellow. I do have beads for the other like Yesod, Hod, and Netzach as well. So if we do finish this pretty early, planning to doing like a 3-hour stream, we can actually get started on one of those as well. The problem is I don't have my iron here. I wasn't planning on ironing, but I can always bring it if we reach that point. So let's move on with yellow, citrine. So this is east. This is the element of air. Black is the element of water in this case, which is weird because I would have imagined it would be the element of earth, whereas olive could have been water, but olive is actually fire. I don't 100% know if that's how it is. So because I didn't actually read up, but those are the usual cardinal directions. So east is governed by I keep saying Michael. Michael is in the south. East is governed by Raphael, and the cherub of east is Exarpe, and Exarpe is also the cherub of Hathor, the Egyptian goddess. And Exarpe has a human face, the cherub. In the south, we have the lion cherub. It's governed by Michael. It is the god. The god there is Tarpesh, I believe. Tarpesh, and the cherub is Bitom. Oh, thank you for moisturizing me. Thank you. I'll drink some coffee. Keto. And then, what was I gonna say? So that would be Bitom is the Carib of south. The Carib of west is Hkoma. The god is Tum, and the archangel is Gabriel. Sorry if I'm a little bit sniffly. It's extremely dry here where I'm sitting, and I forgot to turn on the humidifier. So the frog is very dry. I also still have a little bit of a cold that refuses to let go. So we're gonna be calm and relaxed for this stream. But yeah, definitely, as you can see, this is not even as, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's not gonna be 14 here, I'm pretty sure. So 1, 2, I think it's gonna be 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, 12. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I gotta make it wider, which is unfortunate because, yeah, I guess we'll do that. Yeah, one of the colors is gonna have to go in the middle. I'm seeing it now. So, okay, we're making 12 here. So 12. Yeah, now it's starting to look ugly. That's the problem, right? Because it's not even. It's not even. There's too few pegs. It's never gonna be even. That's the thing. It's never ever gonna be even. That's just life for you. But a circle, we can only imitate a circle. A circle is perfect. A perfect circle cannot be created physically. It is in the domain of God. I guess we should just do this. Oh, I'll do this. It looked like crap, but I don't care. It'll be fine. Yeah, I want to have one more in the middle, but there's no room for it. If they had one more in the middle, it would be fine. There is no space. So we're just gonna have to live with it, even though it bothers me. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, my jaw is very, very stiff. That's a problem because I'm a very tense person, right? And I tend to lock my body in certain positions, and I don't really do a lot of moving during that time. So I've always had problems with having a very stiff joints. My grandpa used to. He actually broke his teeth when he got older because he was like his jaw was very set. He kind of mumbled when he spoke. Not a very healthy way of doing it. Okay, so now we have 14. Doesn't look quite as good. Actually, what if we do this? We'll remove that one for now. And we'll do this. Okay, now they mirror each other at least. So we'll do that for now. That's fine. That is fine. There's going to be more than 14 on each color. Probably 16. We'll see. We just want to finish the first primer at least. Twitch. Thank you, Momo. Oh, good enough is sometimes exactly that, though. You're absolutely right. You're so right. You're so right. Thank you. Well, let me move this a little bit closer. There we go. But yeah, this is a very cheap hobby, a Perler. The ones I'm using is Hama, which is, I think, a Danish company. Each bag of these is like 1,000 beads, and they cost $2.50, roughly. No, even less, $2, $2.50, somewhere around there. And then you just put ironing paper and you iron them, and you can put magnets on them and have them on your fridge. You can work in 3D. I've seen some really cool 3D Perler stuff. And it's something I enjoy doing. They make for really nice gifts. Kids can play with them a lot. I used to make like what do they call them? that you put under a hot pot, like a cover, not a cover, but like what you put under a hot pot so you don't burn your table. I would make those when I was a kid. 'Cause when I was a kid, it was very common for you to have like it's called a dog mama, or day mom. It was like a daycare, except it was just like a one person, and they were taking care of maybe like 6 or 7 kids. And my mom was that for a little while, and so I was at all kinds of day moms, and sometimes they would take turns. They would like have days that they would do, and I think they did it to like help each other out. And one of them, Annika, she was really cool. She was super into crystals, and I think actually kind of my interest on this stuff kind of comes from Annika, because she would have like a pyramid, right, that she would polish stones in. It was like a polishing machine, but it was shaped like a pyramid, which was really cool. She was very new age, and we were not allowed to touch the pyramid because it would disrupt the energies. And I would always look at that pyramid and be like, wow, I wonder what's happening in there, because I never got to see the inside of it. And she had like amethysts and opals. No, not opals, they're very expensive, but like a lot of minerals generally. And my favorite one is onyx. I've always loved onyx because it has these kind of like, no, granite. No, hold on, what is it called? It's like a really dark. I like onyx just fine, but like it's really, really dark red. So it has like almost like a wine kind of color to it. Like, you know, when you hold up a glass of red wine and it's only red when you hold it up to the light, that kind of red. It was something called granate, I think. Oh, I don't remember the name of it, but it was so pretty. And I really like the green ones too, obviously, because I love green. I don't recall what they were called either. It was just minerals. It wasn't like very expensive jewelry or anything, but they're nice. There's a bunch of really nice stones. She would polish them, and we'd get the really small ones that she couldn't sell, and she would make like necklaces out of them. Really cool. We always drank tea with honey with her, which I always loved to do. Okay, we finished east and west. Let's move on to olive. Well, we haven't finished, but we've done the first step of it. So now we're gonna go to south, which is olive, which is probably the only really matching color that I got, because they had olive green. I was like, yeah, that's what I want. I saw this cool video on YouTube where they were like making olive soap. Very basic, caustic soda, water, and olive oil, I think they did. And they poured it out on their floor after like mixing it and letting it rest for a while. And they poured it out on the floor and then just polished it on the floor, and they stamped it, and then, you know, worked from there. They would okay, yeah, this works. Man, I guess. Oh, actually, it. Hold on. No. 1. This is not gonna work. I'm gonna count outwards here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pardon me. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is uneven. 10, 11. Wait, hold on. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. What if you do this? Yeah, now it rears its ugly head. Perfection is impossible. Embrace imperfection. I think the process of failure is one of the most important things in life. We should cherish failure much more than what we do. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually make this one step wider. Failure is more important than success. Quiero. Hello, Musbroke. Hi, welcome to the stream. Quiero. How you doing? I'm Kuku Kaeru, and we are making perler beads. We're making Malkuth, the kingdom, the first Sephirah. or the last, depending on which direction you're looking at. This is the one we're most intimately familiar with. Anyhow, I hope you're having a good one. I hope you're doing well. Oh my god, look at this. This is not... Okay, what if we do this? What if we make it like this? Would it be too wide? If we do it like this, how wide is it? Let me see. How you doing? How's your Saturday going? Are you relaxed? We're sniffing frankincense over here. We got some frankincense over here. Some good old incense. And we got the Knight of Cups. A very good card to pull for when we're creating stuff. Just generally having a good one. So, hope you got your morning coffee. You're doing fine. Very early in the morning right now. Yeah. Get yourself your morning coffee or tea. Just enjoy being up early, catching the first rays of sunlight. Let me just count these to see how wide they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, what if we make them 18? 18. Because then these are 14, 15, 16. Yeah. Okay, this is the best we can do. It's not gonna look pretty, but that's okay. That's okay. I should have probably gotten a square instead. I could have made it into a square. That would have been pretty cool. I mean, that's also the thing, right? Humanity, we're not capable of achieving the perfect circle. So a square is our way of trying to attain a circle. Hello, Fiendishly Nerdy. It's food related? I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. What have you discovered about food? What are your food related revelations? Proceed to share them with my mind, does see. In the past 20 years, we SSBs have found a 5,000-year-old butter mound, a 500-year bread recipe, and just recently found 1,000-year-old cheese. Do you know what they mean to make forbidden grilled cheese? I would love to have that, but can that cheese be used for grilled cheese, or will it be used for evil? That's the question. Okay, so good news and bad news. I think the middle is gonna have to be untouched, because this is, yeah, we're gonna fill out this triangle here, and maybe we'll put something else in the middle. We'll see. But that's really cool. Yeah, we also found some really old wine too, didn't we? Or did you say that? No, we found butter, bread, and cheese. Man, I love grilled cheese sandwiches, but I like to add a little bit of grill spice to them. I like to spice them up a little bit. Chili, onion, paprika, garlic, all those kind of things. Really want to add some more spicy flavor to it. I say it's spicy, but chili's not super spicy. But yeah, this is a 20 wide one, which is what I'm going to be able to do with black and citrine as well. But that's going to leave a bit of a hole. Yeah, let's make another 20 like this with russet, which is north, earth, and then we'll see how we progress from there. Because we want to make it look nice and even, but we won't be able to. So maybe this is the problem, right? Because Malkuth is the only Sephirah with 4 colors. All the other ones had just 1 color. So Malkuth is, in a sense, destined to be imperfect. It's by no means flawed, but it is far from the perfection of the light, the supernal triad, the crown, wisdom, and understanding of Kaeru, Chokmah, and Binah, the first supernals. Chesed, which of course stands for mercy. Gevura. No! Hold on. Yeah, Gevura stands for strength, or severity. Tifares is the beauty. Netzach is the victory. Hod is the glory. Yesod is the foundation. And Malkuth is the kingdom. And the meek shall inherit the kingdom. But yeah, if you know these terms and you know which God names are related to them, reading parts of the Bible is really interesting, because a lot of times, a lot of translations later on didn't really understand that different names are used for God depending on the situation. Sebaoth, for example, which is in one of my favorite hymns, is the leader of the host. I believe it's actually the god name of Netzach, of victory. So there's a hymn where they sing about the Lord Sebaoth. Once you realize what it stands for, it's a very interesting hymn, really. In the heaven with the Lord Sebaoth. I can't really translate it because I don't know about the lyrics on the top of my head. But it's a very pretty song. I'm not particularly, religious myself. I mentioned it a couple of times that I'm a skeptic. But being a skeptic doesn't mean I should disrespect or mock anyone's faith. I think some of the most obnoxious people I know are those aggressively atheist people who have this kind of smugger, holier-than-thou attitude. And I can kind of see there being some justification for it if you grow up with like fundamentally religious people who make their faith everyone's business. But I think the people who are smugly atheist are just as bad as fundamentalists not necessarily in action but in word. The worst people are the ones who will wage war against others because of their faith, because that is, in my opinion, just a stupid excuse to hurt other people. But people who mock someone's faith, tips fedora. I mean, I have some decently good friends who have this really nasty attitude to spirituality. And I think spirituality in and of itself is not a bad thing. I think a lot of people need they need something to hold dear. They need some kind of code in that sense. I don't know if code is the right word, but kind of amusing how some people end up treating atheism as their religion. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, right? I don't like religion as a concept. I don't like pre-bought faith. I think every person should find their own faith. And if that ends up being Muslim or Christian or Judaism or Hinduism or Buddhism, that's fine. But to me, it should be a conscious choice. It should be like, okay, what do I like? What do I find to be? But I guess that's kind of like it sort of defeats the purpose of belief, right? But I think that if you're raised to believe in a certain thing without questioning it, or that generally creates a lot of negativity, I think. Okay, we're done with olive, so let's make russet, and then let's see if we can move things closer to each other. Now, this isn't really russet. This is more of a brownish red, or rather a reddish brown, like terracotta, really. But I couldn't find a good russet. Most of them were a little too much red, so this will have to do. And this is the element of earth, terracotta. Terracotta, terracotta, terracotta. Advertisement causes me therapy. Advertisement causes me therapy. Mushroom, angry peppers, mushrooms all the time. Angry peppers, mushrooms all the time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a donut here, by the way, so I might eat that soon. 5. Let's see if we can go. 1, 2. Oh, I'm trying to grab 2 at the same time. It's a fool's errand. 4, 5. So I got 10. Let's try to grab 2 again. Nope, didn't work. Oh, 11, 12. No, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21. No, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh my god. Oh, I hate this. Oh, this makes me so mad. This makes me so... It's an uneven number. Oof. Ooh. My autism. It's 21. But one of them has to be. One of them has to be 21. That's just how it is. And it's gonna be Russet. System of a Down karaoke when? Man, I would love to do that. System of a Down music is hard to sing though. He has a very special voice. Why don't take your trust in my self-righteous suicide? I cry when angels deserve to die. Ooh. He's very hard to imitate. And I know karaoke is not supposed to be imitation, but you probably noticed that I tend to try to sing like the original, which is not always a good thing, because I got to know the limits of my range, right? But I just love imitation. I love making sounds. I love trying to figure out how a person talks. Do not tempt me, Frodo Baggins. It's a little wizard called Dumbledore. Just kidding. And that wizard, Dumbledore. I love people who are like confidently wrong. It's one of my favorite jokes is people who are confidently wrong. It's just like, it's so funny to me when someone is like certain that things are a way and they're like spouting absolute nonsense, but they think it's correct. Okay, well, we are slowly approaching the circle, and I'm realizing that, well, there's gonna be 20, 20, 21. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Russet is going to be the bigger one because it is north. It's the element of earth. And of course, earth should be the most prevalent in the earth. Pardon me, Sephirah. That only makes sense, right? Trolling is an art, as they say. Yeah, I'm going to raise my desk a little bit because I'm sitting very low. My head is very low right now, and I'm getting a neck pain. I should have probably worn a scarf, now that I think about it. Advertisement causes me therapy. Trolling is an art. It is. I think trolling has to be like mean-spirited trolling isn't fun, I guess. I always find like ribbing, like it's ribbing and like trolling is a very delicate balance of like being just annoying, not mean. I think a lot of people go just a prank, bro, or like it's just a joke, but like no, people have to realize that you're making fun of them. Oh, thank you for the stretch. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, I'm really happy that we got daylight going now, by the way, because it makes for good natural lighting. Because when I was painting figurines, that was during the evening, and that I had to use like 3 different lamps. We need more Russet. Russell T. Davies, Doctor Who. I watched the Super Mario Brothers movie yesterday, right? And I was thinking about it. Like, I think I really like it. Like, first of all, I really like it, and I think it's because the creators actually took it serious. That's the difference, right? They took the source material serious. They didn't go like, okay, yeah, but how do we make this into a movie? Like, how do we change this into a fun movie? They went, okay, how do we make this movie feel true to the source material? And that is, I think, the difference between modern video game movies and the 90s and the early 2000s. Like Tomb Raider, the movie. Absolute garbage. I hated it. I don't particularly care for Angelina Jolie. As an actress, mind you. I think she's done a lot of good things as a human. adopted a lot of kids. Now, I don't know their family relationship, and I haven't been reading the tabloids since I was working at a at a store. But I don't like her as an actress. There's quite a lot of actresses I don't like, but there's been a lot I like recently. Natalie Portman I do enjoy in certain content. Didn't like her in Star Wars, but I didn't like anyone in Star Wars. I'm not a fan of the prequels. But where was I? Yeah, like I think it kind of sort of started with Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph, right? Wreck-It Ralph wasn't based on any IP, but Wreck-It Ralph felt like it was based on a video game. And I think Wreck-It Ralph sort of opened the door in Hollywood for video game movies to actually be like their games. I think it did a lot. I think that movie carried a lot, and it had video game characters in it, and it showed Hollywood that you don't have to rewrite a game. Like, I absolutely detest the Resident Evil movies. I hate them with a passion. They're the worst. They're disgusting. I hate them so much. The first 25 minutes of the first movie is okay. Mila Jovovich, just get her out of there. I hate her character. I hate everything she stands for. She sucks. I hate Alice. Worst character ever. I was okay with Resident Evil 1. I thought it was like a bad movie. But when I saw Resident Evil 2 and what they did to my boy Nemesis, I was like, no. This is garbage. This is trash. And a lot of people don't even mention it, but there's strippers touching their boobs while they're zombies. What the hell? What was up with that movie? And the motorcycle in the church and everything. It's just such a garbage movie. Such a horrible piece of trash. And I think it's because the director, the same guy who made Event Horizon, by the way, I don't think he respected the source material. I think he looked at it like, okay, how do I salvage stuff from this game to make it into a cool movie? He had entirely the wrong approach to it. I didn't watch beyond the third movie. I watched half the third movie and I turned it off. It died with the beginning of the second movie. The first one was okay. It had Marilyn Manson in it. It was pretty cool. It was a mansion. And granted, the mansion isn't, like, the first game isn't the best in terms of story. Like, I think the remake of Resident Evil 1 is absolutely amazing. But I still think that 2 is much more my kind of zombie game than 1 is. I think 1 is a little bit too campy for me. It's a little bit too much late 70s horror, you know? Trying to mimic Tarantino's Grindhouse, I'd assume. Yeah, I just... It was like a vehicle for his wife, Mila Jovovich, to be cool. And I don't appreciate that. I really don't appreciate that. And with Resident Evil, you could absolutely go the... what's his name? Romero. You could go the Romero route and do, like, social commentary on corporations and that kind of stuff. Like, Romero went kind of off kilter with his later movies, but I really like Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. They're super good horror zombie movies, but they're not really about zombies. They're about humanity, right? And I like that part about, like, Raccoon City. The fall of Raccoon City is the pinnacle of Resident Evil. Everything that came after it, not so good. Resident Evil 4, it's okay. I like it fine, but I think Resident Evil 2 and 3 are the best in the series. I think the remake of 3 is okay. It's nowhere near as good as the remake of Resident Evil 2, which is a freaking masterpiece. Resident Evil 4 remakes is really good. It is better than the original. I wouldn't say that the RE2 remake is better than the original. They're very different games. But RE4 remake is better than the original by far. I like it way more. Okay, so you see here, we got this little thing in the middle, and then we got these lines going out. So now we're going to start expanding things. So let's go back to black. So let's just count as black, just to be safe. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we want to make it 16. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. Hold on. This is 16. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. 14, 16, 18. No. No. This is not right. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, the Mario Brothers is funny. It's a very funny movie, but it's not a very good one. But it's funny. Okay, I've done a goof. I've done a big old goof. These are only 14 wide. So, if we make them 18 wide, they're still shorter than the other ones. So, they're all uneven. I hate this. This is 18. Yeah, let's make them 18 wide and then just kind of rework things. We'll do that because I'm too head empty, no thought. But Hoskins hated it. Lucia Woola, whatever his name is, Luigi, probably loved it. Thank you for the head pats. Thank you. I really, if you remove Iggy and Lemmy or whatever they're called, like I think it's goofy fun. It's fun. When it comes to being a movie, but it's not a good movie by any means. And ironically, I think the problem is that it has kind of the same problem that the current Mario movie had. It's trying too much. It doesn't have a very solid story. Although actually the old Mario movie did that better than the new one, because the new Mario movie, I think it had the trailer syndrome, that it had a trailer full of stuff happening. Which is like, oh, look, it's Mario Kart. Oh, look, it's the old Donkey Kong. Oh, look, it's this. And that came at the expense of the narrative. Like, everything happened so fast all the time. It's like, what's his name? Puss in Boots, I talked about yesterday. Puss in Boots is just like, oh my god, I can't follow this. It's just too much. So, I genuinely did like the Mario movie. But I think the Sonic movie was a better made movie. I haven't seen the second one, but I've heard it's kind of trash, so I don't necessarily feel like I want to watch it. Okay, so let me see here. This is going to be 18. I might want to try to count the circles and see like how I can divide this so they get relatively similar. One has to be a bit bigger than the others. That's the problem. And in my opinion, it actually might even be black, because black also kind of works as a sort of in the middle of everything. Okay, this one is 18. 18, let's make the black one 18 as well. So we're just gonna do this. Let's fill this out. Because this one is 20. No, this one is 21, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, that's 21. 21. What's 9 plus 10? 21. I'm not stupid. Okay, is the candle going out? Oh yeah, the tea candle is going out. I was like, why is the incense not burning or smelling any? Because the tea candle sucks. The problem is you can't really put them under a normal candle because those are way too hot. So instead you'd burn stuff. Let's see here. Oop. Let's do this now. So black needs to be 18 as well. 18! So 19, 19, 19, 20 maybe. Maybe that will work. We'll see. I need to count the width of them all. That's the problem. Thank you for the head pets. Whoop. I'm sure there's a more efficient way of doing this, but I'm bad at math. So I'll just do what I do. Let's see here. Yellows. Gotta get more citrine out here. I got some really in-depth feedback to some of my videos yesterday. A very, very nice person wrote up sort of a good summary of, well, not even a summary, but like a good breakdown of my videos. And it made me very happy. It was very honest. It lifted some of my issues I have when I play games like Bloodborne, which requires a little bit more of my focus, and when I play a game I'm not very fond of, which is like, I've kind of really burned out on what's it called, Doble. Fear and Hunger. I don't want to play it anymore. and yeah, Fear and Hunger. So he pointed out that my second Fear and Hunger video was kind of, my soul wasn't in it. I think I was having a bad day too. I mentioned it a couple of times, but it is a rough game. Yeah, but it's also like it's very repetitive. It's hard to talk about things during it and not mess up while doing it. It's very unforgiving. And I mean, I like it fine. I like it, but I think it's more of a game that I want to play on my own rather than streaming it, I guess. I kind of got the feeling that with Bloodborne, I really do like the first part of the game, but I'm not so good with it. So later on, I die an awful lot more, and I don't know if that makes for very interesting content. But he also brought up that I tend to not get very angry when I die. when I die, I don't gamer rage. Which, I mean, that is a conscious decision of mine. This is not a cope. I'm not coping with the criticism because I think it's very valid. I was actually curious about that because I tend to be like, I tend to get emotional outbursts, right? For a long time, I've been very like, oh my god, like you get a little bit angry. I don't throw my controller or anything like that, but I can be loud. But the thing is, when I started streaming, I was like, okay, what if I act more mature? Maybe people will like that I'm more of like, okay, well, that happened, but whatever, like comfy, cozy. But you know what? I don't think that's, like he said, that's not very entertaining. Being humble in loss isn't very fun, especially if it happens multiple times. And I agree. I think, for example, when I got very, very angry at Banjo-Kazooie, that was kind of fun. That was funny to watch later on. That's a funnier clip than me going, oh, well, you know, what happens when I die for the billionth time against a common enemy in Bloodborne. Because it's kind of like, it feels like my heart isn't in the game, you know? Even if it is. So that was really good feedback. I really appreciated it. And honestly, you know what? I would love to at some point go corpo and make this more like my job, streaming. I really don't mind constraints. I think I can play more or less any game and feel like I could do some decent commentary on it. I mean, I guess it depends on like the complexity of the game, but I don't think choice of game matters too much to me. Because I think as a streamer, it's more about being entertaining, right? And it's fun to watch a game someone's not good at. That's also fun to watch them kind of struggle and learn. Find balance between ear blistering rage and humility. Yeah, absolutely. It's not a dichotomy. It's a scale. And absolutely, I'm not going to scream to the point where I spike my microphone and scare my neighbors or my cat, but I think I can definitely like let go and be a little bit more angry if it doesn't go the way I want it to go. Also, speaking of things not going the way I want them to go, one of my inspiration streamers, Yami, is actually retiring or graduating, which makes me very sad. I immediately thought like, he's been accepted into Hololive or something because he's a very talented streamer. But I don't know, like maybe he's just had enough, you know? Okay, so as we can see here, the red and the green, they're too wide. So what I'm thinking is, this red is 20, right? And the green is 21, and the red is 20, and these are 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if I make the red 19, then black would be 19. And if I make the green 20, I can make yellow 19. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove a line of red here and make it black. And I'm going to remove a line of green and make it yellow. And we'll see how it looks. And we have a little circle in the middle. We'll figure that one out when we get there. But that's as far as I can get it to be even Steven, right? Steven's penis. That's a really funny animation, by the way. I don't recall what his name is, but he's the guy who made the Dog of Wisdom.
ha, ha wa wa wa, ha, ha ba ba, ha wa wa, ha, ha wa wa wa, ha, ha ba ba, ha duck a dog, ha bug.
That'd be Joe. Yeah, Joe. That's not the same as Joe Cartoon, right? Because Joe Cartoon was the guy who made like the Superfly, I'm gonna do your mama, and like the gerbil in a mixer and stuff. Yeah, Joe. I really like his bully video, the substitute bully. I replaced your normal cafeteria pizza with a vegan pizza. Okay, so if I do black here, I mean, it doesn't look great. No. Let's make that russet. There we go. Man, I don't like this. No, black. Has to be black. It has to be black. I do not like how this looks. How big? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wait, this is 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, I can take one more. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. I like, this does not look right. No, one has to be uneven, and that's gonna be the green one, which is 21. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so the green one is gonna be 20. It just has to be. But the yellow one is gonna be 19. It's gonna be 20. Let's see here. So what we do now is we put black here. I think we're getting there. What if you replace a line of yellow ones with red? Oh. Huh? Okay, I just got a call. I'm gonna mute my phone. Is that my phone? What the hell? Oh no, oh my gosh, that was my iPad. What if I replace a line of yellow with red? Oh, not a bad idea. Because now black is going to be how wide? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh. Okay, no. This is what we're going to do. So we're going to replace a line of yellow with red, and then 2 lines of green with yellow. That's what we're going to do. In the end, it's not going to be perfectly even, but that's fine. That's fine. So now red is 19, right? So we're going to make red 20. I think. Let me count. Oh my goodness. No. Yeah, we gotta. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if we make, and this is 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So if we do this and make it red, let me see here. I think we'll figure it out. You know what? I don't even want to calculate. I'm just going to work on it and see. Eventually, it's going to come out good. It's going to come out good. So, I want to add another red. Yeah, there's not a lot of red here. It's very pointy in the middle. Black is kind of taking over. Might have to shift everything by one line. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. I think you are right. You're so right. You're so right. Let's put this red here first. And then we gotta put a red. Hold on. Here, right? Yeah, Man. What if we do this? Yeah, what if we shift it even more? It doesn't look good. This is hard. This is hard. I don't like it. This is too difficult. It's all good. The best part about this is that you can just rework it. You can just take them out and you can put in new ones. Happy little accidents. Like that. Kind of a staggered pattern between the colors. Yeah, I could do that too. I could make it like a zigzag. I think I might have to do that. Let's see. It's also the fact that Malkuth isn't supposed to be perfect. Malkuth is supposed to reflect the flawed reflection of perfection in nature. So nature and the physical world is merely a copy of the divine world beyond the crown. So if it doesn't look great, that's on purpose. Let's get another red one here. Oh boy. Oh boy. If we do this. No. Okay, hold on. What we'll do is, we'll do this. It's called organized chaos, exactly. Oh no, I dropped some beads. My beads! Yellow. Where are you at? Yellow. No, I mean green, olive. How about we do this? And we go russet 3, 3, 4, and we want to take one from black, and we'll take another. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we got 4 on each of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we take one more, if we make green, no. Make a russet, one more russet here. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here rather. Yellow. And then do it like this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is quite the pickle. We're gonna have to do it interlinked, I think. Let's at least make them a little bit wider. Let's make them a little bit wider. Let's see here. Yeah, I think for this line I'm gonna have to go like zigzag. So let's first add another line of russet here, just so we have that. I think we're just gonna put like a circle of white in the middle or something. Or just, I don't know. I'll do something. Okay, and here we go. Finding the right look when you have limited placement options is awfully hard, but this is kind of zen to it. Yeah, I agree. I'd rather play around with this. Yeah, pixel art. Pixel art is all about like tricking the eye, right? You gotta accentuate certain things, you gotta fake shading. Pixel art, I used to do a lot of pixel art when I was younger. I used to do a lot of modified sprites from Mega Man and for Final Fantasy VI. Those were my go-to sprites to work on. And pixel art, it really is all about like tricking the brain into thinking that something is what it isn't. Much more than 3D, which is like, 3D is straightforward. Pixel, that's complicated. Okay, so. If I add another line here, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's too many. And this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. Way too few. So we're going to put... Man. No matter how you twist and turn it, this is hard. So, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. If we do this. It's 18. 4. Okay, yeah, 2 have to be 5. Let's count the whole circle, okay? Hey, third part. Oh, hey, Dory. Hey, Patchy. Hello. Getting mega ASMR vibes from the stream. Love what you're getting in on, man. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy you like it. We are crafting. We're trying to make this into a decently good circle, which is very hard. And we got the Knight of Cups. We actually did get it reversed, so that's like frustration in art. So that's funny. I think my incense burner has kind of gone out, but that's fine. It still smells a lot like frankincense here in the room. Man. So let's count how many wide this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. Which, incidentally, is the amount of tarot cards. Isn't that fun? I think 78? Yeah. So 78 divided by 4. No, wait. 78 divided by 4 is 19.5. So 2 19s is 38. And then, 4 19s is 38, 76, right? So there should be 2 19s and 2 20. That's what we need to do. Okay, so 20s should be opposite each other, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, we'll do it like this. 19 and 20. I think. Oh boy. No, it's fair. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 21. Okay, this one has to be 19. So let's do it like this. Whoop. No, I don't have the little hooks. I'm used to working with little hooks on these grabby thingies. You know what? This is what we gotta do. We gotta do it like this. Let's get rid of this screen here. Little lessons in Swedish numbers, yeah. Yeah, it's not as complicated as Danish. Danish is a nightmare. They have a very strange counting system, kind of reminiscent of the French counting system. Swedish is very straightforward. It's like English, almost identical. Okay, so we do this. So we want to have two 20s. That's 40 plus 19, which is 59, 8, 68, 76. So, okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's make the black and yellow first. So 1, 2. So we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Let's just go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16? 17, 18? Yeah, man, I have to really just... It's only 16 wide? It's bonkers. 17? 18, 19, 20. Okay, so if we do this, let's calculate here. If we got 19 on each side. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, yeah, this is right. Wait, hold on, did I? Okay, 19, so this one has to be green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, these have to be black. It's gonna look kind of weird, I think. That's just how it be. Hi Mortis, how you doing? Oh, you're the first? Kiddo. Welcome, Vortis. How you doing? How's your Saturday morning? Very early Saturday morning. I gotta finish soon. I only got 3 hours. Then I gotta get ready for dinner. Dinner with the family. My sister is having her 40th birthday today. She's a Sagittarius. I'll just leave it at that. Classic fire element. No, this looks so weird, doesn't it? Doesn't it? What if we do... Oh my god. I am... This is hard. This is genuinely much more difficult than I thought it would be. Cause see, this doesn't look right at all. 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't look right at all. So, you know what we're gonna do? This is what we're gonna do. Let's make them smaller. 3, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, Peaches, 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 peaches. No, so 3 here. How does this look? What if we leave some space in between them anyway? Will that work? And then we just put something else in there. Happy birthday! Oh yeah, to my sister. Oh, I was like, whose birthday? I'm sorry. I was. Oh, wow! There it goes flying. What if I put a 5th color in between? You know, I'll put white in between. I'll just change it. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. This is such a a headache to do because it's not an even. Maybe I should even just do it as a square. I have a reference image. I do. Well, I have a mental reference image. The problem is, this thing is not like a perfect circle. We can't do it. However, were I to do it in this, I don't think there would be a problem. So how about we make it a square, you guys? How about we turn it into a square? Then for sure, things will be easy. So let me just calculate this. I think we'll turn it into a square. Let's square the circle. I think that's a really good idea. So let's do this. We're just gonna square the circle. Peaches, 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 peaches. And we'll have a black line in between everyone. Look at this. So much easier. Let me move the circle out of the way. So the first Sephirah is actually going to be a square. And if that isn't symbolic of something, I don't know what it is. You accidentally closed your browser somehow. I'm making... Okay, so what I'm doing is since it's been a little while since I talked about this, what I'm doing is I'm making the first Sephirah on the Tree of Life. And this is, or the bottom one, or the last one, depending on how you look at it. Generally speaking, this is the last Sephirah. It is Malkuth. It is the kingdom. This is the physical manifestation of divinity. It is the Sephirah that receives emanations from basically every other Sephirah. And this is like divinity on earth, right? So what we're doing here is we're making our physical world. This is the world of the physical elements. This is the world of the element of earth. And it is the enus and the legs on the human being, on the human body. This is where creation exists, where our physical bodies exist, and where our physical minds exist. The next one is Yesod, which is sort of the world of illusions, of dreams, of fantasy, of spirit. And after that, it becomes consistently more abstract. We're not really doing any of the abstract stuff. We're just making Malkuth today. Malkuth is a decently simple Sephirah. The base one. Yeah, the base one is a good explanation for what Malkuth is. Malkuth is, it doesn't really require a lot to see Malkuth. We were kind of born into seeing it. After Malkuth, we have Yesod, and after Yesod, we have Hod, which is intelligence or glory. And then after Yesod, we have Netzach, which is victory or nature. So Hod would be represented by the god of Thoth, or Hermes, who is the god of wisdom, or rather the god of intelligence. It is magic. You could call it like you could call Hod the hermetic magic, the systematic kind of magic, and you could call Netzach Wiccan magic or chaos magic, or like, well, saying Wiccan magic is chaos magic is not fair. Wiccan is sort of it's primal magic, I guess you could call it. That would be a better explanation. Nature magic, shamanism, those kind of things. But it's still like under a system, right? So basically, the Tree of Life is separated into 3 pillars. We have the right pillar of mercy, which is called Yakin, and you have the left pillar of severity, which is Boaz. And the left pillar is black, and the right pillar is white. So whenever someone is talking about the left-hand path in magic, for example, they're talking about the kind of magic that is on the pillar of severity. Black magic belongs there, but it is about magic where you sort of transcends God, where you become God in a sense, where you strive to deify yourself. This is a very, very rough explanation, so it's much more deeper than that. But that's the left-hand path. Traditionally, it's like revolting against the order of things and ascending yourself, whereas the left-hand path is more like in following the divine will of God or Yahweh, and sort of just accepting your part and like attaining enlightenment in that sense. And the middle path, or the thinner path, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Exactly. Yes, wisdom and knowledge. So wisdom is on the top of the pillar of mercy. Wisdom is Chokmah, and Chokmah is the father who is wise, the primordial father, and Binah is the primordial ocean, the mother, and knowledge, or understanding rather. Actually, understanding, because knowledge is Dath. Dath is the 11th Sephirah, which is between Chesed and between Chesed and Binah. So the three supernals, or the sacred supernals, are Kether, Chokmah, Binah. Kether means crown, Chokmah means wisdom, and Binah means understanding. So you can be wise, but you can't understand it, right? And they are the crown is, of course, the highest, most possible way of imagining divinity. Beyond Kether, you have Ein Sof, and Ein Sof Hour. Ein is nothing, Ein Sof is eternal, and Ein Sof Hour is eternal light. So we can't even perceive Ein Sof Hour. We can't even imagine what lies beyond Kether. Kether is the full extent of what the human mind can imagine. Kether is a crown. It is the highest concept of divinity. So Kether was the first, or the primal, the base Sephirah. It's at the top of the tree. And then from it emanated Chokmah, the wisdom, the primordial father. And from Chokmah emanated Binah, the primordial ocean, understanding, sorry. And since you have 3 points now, you can actually have geometry. Geometry requires 3 points. You can't, it's not geometry if you only have 2 points, then it's just a line, right? It's one-dimensional. But when you have 3 points, you can become 2-dimensional. And when you have 4 points, you can become 3-dimensional. You can't make a 3-dimensional body with just 3 points. It's impossible. But with 4 points, you can, which is why Dath is considered like, that's when space truly began. And then after that, you have Chesed, who is, again, in the Pillar of Mercy. So Chokmah and Chesed are the Pillar of Mercy. Chesed is the mercy. He is the loving father, the caring father, the forgiving father. And then you have Gebura, which is the judging father, or the powerful father, the warlord, the general. Whereas Chesed is the ruler, the just ruler, the merciful ruler. And after that, you have Tifareth, which is the second or third, depending on if you include Dath or not, Sephiroth in the middle, from the top. The first one is Kether, but then Tifareth is literally the reflection of the beauty of Kether. Tifareth is the middle path. It is Jesus in Christian Kabbalah. It is the sacrificed God. It is the Son. And that is the highest form of the Sephiroth that we can, or the highest Sephiroth on the Tree of Life, the Otzchim, that we can perceive as mortals. So Jesus is essentially the purest form of the Tree of Life that humanity can perceive. Yeah, the basic scientific concepts apply to spirituality. Exactly. That's the thing. The two don't have to cancel each other out. That's why I'm a little bit against, aggressive atheism, where you can't just leave it alone. You have to debunk it. I understand it's an allegory. It's a collection of allegories. Even if you can accept it as that. I strongly believe that mocking someone else's faith is one of the cardinal sins of being a human. You can absolutely fight against harmful beliefs if you consider it harmful to humanity. And I think this kind of mindset comes because I'm from Sweden, where Christianity and where like hardcore religion and like people who abuse religion for their own good is not very common. But I can imagine that in countries like America, where there are very harmful sects of people who are very fundamental in their own beliefs and using the guise of religion, that in that sense, I think it's bad. Religion in general, I don't think is good because it's a prepackaged bunch of ideas. I think that everyone should critically look at what they want to believe in and go with that. Whether that is atheism or whether that is Christianity or Buddhism or Shintoism, or you can believe in many. That's the thing. Belief is personal. Religion is an organization. It's an institution. And institutions are created by humans. Humans are flawed. Hence, institutions are flawed. Hence, religions, by their very nature, are interpretations of belief, sold as a solution. I don't know. That's a very strong opinion that I have, but I always struggled with my own faith for a long time because I was raised in a very agnostic household. My father was an atheist. My mother was agnostic. We go to church to celebrate, marriage, christenings, and funerals. Generally, church isn't really a thing in the Kaeru household. We don't pray. We don't worship that much. So I always really struggled with religion. I used to have a lot of monologues against or with God. I would talk to him when I was walking, or they, I guess I would, but really I was just talking to myself. I was just processing things. In a sense, you can say that divinity or God isn't everything. Everything is a part of God. A tomb is everything. Everything is a tomb. If we speak to God, we speak to ourselves. If we speak to ourselves, we speak to God. And that's why I also feel weird about applying like human characteristics to a tomb. I guess a tomb is a good like sort of neutral way of describing the creating force of the universe, because a tomb is so much beyond what we are. I don't think a tomb has morality, for example. I don't think a tomb considers morals, because like I said yesterday's stream, morals, ethics, are entirely fictional. There are no ethics in nature. There are no crimes and punishments. I like to consider the Bible as an early attempt to explain the human psychology and codify some morals. Absolutely. Then again, the tree of life with God on top is meant to represent a human. Exactly. Both of those can be true. I think there's a rabbinic tradition in Judaism, which I really admire, which is that there's the Talmud is basically Judaism's attempt to decode the religious scripture and be like, okay, what does this actually mean? How can we apply these very strict rules? Because there's a bunch of rules in the Torah. How can we apply them to our existence? How do we interpret the words of God? Which is, in Christianity, in certain parts of Christianity, interpreting the words of God is forbidden. The words are written as they are written, right? Which is a strange way of looking at it. Because then it's like, yeah, but I know a lot of people who will say like, yeah, the words of God is sacred. It's not open for interpretation. And then they sin, right? Because you can only sin if there are very strict rules that you break. And I think like capital punishment, it's like, who has the right to take someone else's life? I don't know if I would be able to not kill someone if they killed my family. I don't know. But like, I don't think capital punishment is something that a tomb would want, I don't think a force of nature in the wildest regard would be like, yeah, I want revenge. Animals don't want revenge. If you hit your cat, first of all, you shouldn't hit your cat. But if you hit your cat, the cat isn't going to be like, yes, I will get revenge. I will strike them when they least expect. They might strike back impulsively because they don't like to get hit. But, I mean, they don't hold a grudge. So it's kind of difficult. Like, if animals can do that, like, is intelligence the ability to hold a grudge? I don't know. but it's really very interesting. The Sephirah, the Otschim, the Tree of Life, is originally a Jewish concept or a Kabbalistic concept, but even before Kabbalah, it existed. It is not the end-all map of the universe if you don't want to use it. There are others. Like, it's obviously a very, very Western-centric form of esotericism in system. There are other systems out there that do similar work. But what I like with the Tree of Life is how flexible it is and how all-encompassing it can be. Like, you can apply a lot of its characteristics to both the microcosm, your body, the macrocosm, the world around you. You can apply like alchemy to it, hermetic traditions, the idea of divine spirits. It's a very flexible system. It's very open for like, it's very applicable to a lot of things, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like the tarot set of Rider-Waite's is not, the way it's designed is based on the Tree of Life. The 22 major arcana each represent one of the 22 Hebrew letters and also one of the 22 paths on the Tree of Life. I have the Tree of Life here. If you want to, this is a very, very rough Tree of Life. You have Kether, let's see here. Kether here. No, wait, this is, sorry, upside down. My bad. Kether, Chokma, Binah, Chesed, Gevura, Tifareth, Netzach, over here, down here. Oh, it's very hard to do this with camera. Hod, Yesod, and Malkuth that we're working on right now. And I think it should be square. You know, I think that's only appropriate. It's very appropriate. That's humanity's attempt at mimicking God. God is circle. God is perfect. Humanity is not perfect, but we can strive towards becoming perfect, you know? It's a good idea. We can strive to be good. I like to think that there is no higher purpose in the universe. I like to think that we are put here to do what we do, and whatever we put value into, that's valuable. I don't think anything has a... I don't think... If there's anything that has value in the universe, I would say it's life. But obviously the universe doesn't think that, right? Because it doesn't mind wiping out life if it has to. The universe is pretty cold and uncaring, generally. That's why I think we don't have... That's why I don't think morals are universal, for example. Okay, so this is south. So now we're gonna make east. Oh my gosh, raid! Hello, Polly, how you doing? Thank you for raiding. Welcome, everybody. I am Kuku Kaeru. I'm Swedish Tree Frog. We are making, after many attempts at making a perfect circle, which we can't with this. Hi, Mond. Hello. Welcome. How you doing? We are making the first Sephirah, which is supposed to be a circle. Ironically, because it is Malkuth, we are making it, coming from Lobotomy Corporation, great game. I love it. We are actually making Malkuth as a square, which there's a lot of stuff we can read into that. But we are making Malkuth as a square because we just can't make a perfect circle. It's impossible. So what we're doing now is we're just making a square. Isn't that nice? Just making a little square. So this will be because Malkuth is the physical, the lower, the base Sephiroth. It is where creation comes into existence. Oh, thank you, Mond. Thank you for moisturizing me. Oh, I really need a stretch. Also, really, I don't know if you can see it, but I have the Knight of Cups here, which we pulled before. We actually, oh, you were going through the Tree of Life too? You had the Godwin's Encyclopedia open. Nice. Oh, I'm stretching. I gotta hurry up, actually, because it's almost, wait, it's almost just 2. Don't worry, I can do another hour, actually. if we hurry up, I can do another hour-ish. But yeah, the Tree of Life, Kether is at the top, and what's it called? Malkuth is at the bottom. And Malkuth is the physical world. It is the world of the elements. It is the world of Earth. It is the physical plane. And Malkuth is also where we excrete evil into the Qliphoth, the reverse Tree of Life, or the husks that are behind. Malkuth is symbolized by a queen on her throne. the minor or the lesser mother, and it is very perceptible. The last perceptible Sephirah would be Tifareth, which is, I guess you could call it the Jesus Sephirah if you want to. It is the savior, it is the sacrificed God, it is the reflection of the light of Kether, the crown, coming through Malkuth and reflecting back into Tifareth. We can perceive this. After that, we can't perceive. We can only imagine in our mind's eye. But if there is anything we'll learn from Hermetica, it is that the power of the mind is everything. The power of the mind is... Oh, shells, yeah. I'm glad you like it, Vortis. Thank you. I cannot recommend enough the Mystical Kabbalah by Dion Fortune. She worked alongside Aleister Crowley for a while. She was very into all these things, but she has a very down-to-earth, structured way of explaining all this. But what I wanted to say was that after Malkuth, which is the Enus and the feet, where we excrete evil things into Qliphoth, Malkuth is sort of like the Kether, or, well, Malkuth is connected to the Kether of the Qliphoth, although I wouldn't really call it a Kether. And then there's 4 different worlds, really, and that's Lach, Asaya, and I don't recall the other ones. So each of the trees of life exists in 4 versions, in 4 different worlds, becoming more and more like attuned. And all way up the tree, we have the Ein, Ein Sof, and Ein Sof Hour, which is like the veil beyond which we cannot even comprehend the light of Atum, or the Creator. I say Atum because I guess it's a little less loaded term than God, but Atum is like everything. Atum is the one God. And if you read the Hermetica, which is a text purportedly written by Hermes Trismegistus, the Hermes Thrice Magister, or Thoth, as he became in Egyptian mythology, he will absolutely, like, what he's presenting is essentially the Judeo-Christian God in like being perfected, being one with the creation of the universe, being everything, being knowledge, being understanding, far, far beyond our level of understanding. We are mere flickers of light compared to the divine light of Atum. But we are still light. Hermes thrice great. That's the one, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. And these 4 colors, Malkuth is the only Sephirah that has 4 colors. And it's citrine, it's russet, and black and olive. Olive, now this is a thing I wasn't entirely sure about, because citrine, I would imagine, is wind, is air, because yellow tends to be the color of air. However, olive then has to be fire, if we're following the traditional cardinal directions of the elements, because in East, we have the Archangel of Raphael, we have the cherub of Exarpe, we have the Egyptian goddess of Hathor. Exarpe is the cherub of Hathor, and we have the element of air. I think I said that. In the south, we have the element of fire. We have Michael. We have Tarpesh, the god Tarpesh. We have the lion-headed cherub of Bitom, and yeah, fire. In west, we have water, the Archangel of Gabriel. We have the god Tum, and the cherub, the eagle-headed cherub of Homa. I really did my reading. Oh, I'm glad you like it. He has many names. You got it right too. Thank you. Yeah, Homa is in the south. This is good for me too, because I'm trying to memorize this. And then finally not southwest, sorry. And in the north, Earth, we have the Archangel of Uriel, or Auriel, although Auriel could sound like the angel of light. So Uriel is how I have learned to call it. Uriel, and the bull-headed cherub of Ahapsha. Ahapsha is the goddess related to Apis, and the bull-headed Archangel of Nanta. No, cherub of Nanta. And that's how it's supposed to be. But on this, then Nanta of Earth would be black, air would be yellow, fire would be green, and water would be black, and earth would be russet or red-brown, which is kind of like terracotta. So that's usually not the colors I would associate with the elements. Like obviously red would be fire, yellow would be air, blue would be water, and these 4 colors would together be earth. So Malkuth is very much the Sephirah of earth in that sense. So what's above is below. What is below is above, as the old Smaragd, the emerald tablets would say. You can kind of imagine the tree of life being like a seed or like a chestnut, right? Inside every chestnut, there is a tree. And inside every tree, inside every chestnut, there is another chestnut. And inside that chestnut, there is a tree. Like it never ends. It just goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, right? So that's kind of a good way of looking at things, if you want. Sorry if I'm covering stuff up right now. I'm just trying to hurry up so I can get this finished early. I was going to use the square one to paint the numbers, rather draw the name of Malkuth, but I might do that on a separate square later on. The cycle of life, simple as, exactly, as within, so without. Exactly. Life is a cycle. There's a reason the spiral, what is it called again? I can never recall what it's called. I have it on the tip of my tongue. Oh, what is it called? That's in like seashells and in how plants grow and how like a lot of stuff happens. The spiral. It's called. It'll come to me soon. The golden ratio. Yeah, the golden ratio. It's also called. It has another name as well, but the golden ratio. The golden ratio is beautiful. It's in a lot of places. And yeah, you can say this is the physically best way for things to grow, for example. And nature is all about efficiency. But that does not exclude spirituality. Like I've been saying it so many times now, I am a skeptic, but I respect this stuff. I am not sure if I believe in it. But just the same way that I wouldn't go to a Shinto shrine and be like, this is bullshit, and just like spit on it, I would never look at this stuff and be like, this is dumb. I hate that mentality. It's very narrow-minded, it's closed-minded, it's toxic for the soul, right? Respect things. Unless they don't respect you, in which case, don't respect them back. The golden rule, the golden law, do unto others as thou wishest done unto you. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Hi, Tiny! The Fibonacci! Yes, the Fibonacci spiral. You're absolutely right. Hello, Tiny. How you doing? Yeah, the Fibonacci spiral. But I don't think that spirituality and science are mutually exclusive. Like we were talking about, so much of the tree of life is reflected in nature. It's reflected in our psyche. Jung was very interested in this stuff. And we were talking about the pillar of mercy and the pillar of severity, right? The pillar of severity, or the pillar of strength, is the black spiral. It's named after Boaz, one of the pillars outside the Temple of Solomon. And the pillar of mercy is named Jakin. And Jakin means God has made me, and Boaz means strength in God, or the God's strength, sort of. It's very, very vaguely like that. I think it was a Jewish anecdote I once heard once, in which a young man asked a rabbi how to learn the word of God. Ooh, well, let me know. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, third party, while I explain the pillars. So the pillar of severity is the left-hand path. The pillar of mercy is the right-hand path. Severity, the left-hand path is kind of about becoming your own God. Like, okay, this is extremely simplified, so I might even get it wrong. But the left-hand path is about like serving yourself. It's about sort of becoming God, getting God's powers, those kind of things. While the right-hand path is about being subservient to God, but also becoming one with God. It's more light in that sense. And then the middle path is essentially a balance between the two. If you follow the right-hand path, you'll learn to subdue the serpent, your beast, your your inner Satan, if you wish. You learn to subdue it, whereas you learn to embrace it in the left-hand path. In the middle path, you learn to control it. You learn to gain strength from it, a foundation. So the middle path is often the path pursued by hermetic wizards or mages, magi, I guess. I don't know the proper term. Magicians. I don't know. Magician's like a performance magician, right? The rabbi responded, just memorize the golden rule. The rest is merely commentary. See, that's the thing, right? A lot of people get stuck on the Old Testament and be like, yeah, da, 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 da. But really, what it boils down to is, I think the golden rule is also interpreted, said differently depending on which religion. Do unto others as thou dost upon you. Do to others what you wish them to do upon you is the active form, but then the other passive form is no, wait, hold on. I think it was like a passive version of it, where like rather than actively doing something, you if you want to be treated a certain way, others, you should treat them the same or something. Love others as you love yourself. Yes. Well, similarly related to that. But yeah, if you look at the tree of life, you have Chokma and Binah. Chokma is wisdom, and it is the uppermost Sephirah of the pillar of mercy. Chokma is wisdom, and it's the all-father, the primal concept of fatherhood, or primal concept of the male potent energy. And then you have Binah, which is the vast ocean of eternity, the matron, the mother, the greater queen, and the pillar of severity, which is funny because, I mean, usually people say the mother would be the gentler form. But then those are the three supernulls, the Kether, Chokma, Binah. And then from Binah, you go down to Chesed, which is strength, the strength of God. That's God as the Punisher. God as the sorry. Chesed is the caring God. Sorry, Chesed is the God who judges fairly, who forgives. He's the Father, the forgiving Father. Gevura is the God of Mars, as he is the warrior God, and then Tifareth would be Jesus, like we said before. But again, this is merely a framework, a way of working with the tree of life, and I just like how flexible the Kabbalistic system is in that sense. I would argue that it's been around for a very, very long time, and Judeo-Christian Kabbalah, Christian Kabbalah is different from Judaic Kabbalah, which is different from Hermetic Kabbalah, which is like the magical approach to it. But since you guys arrived just now, before we started the stream, I talked a little bit about the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, which is the pentagram represents humanity, right? You have the four elements. At the bottom left, you have earth. At the top, you have spirit. At the bottom right, you have fire. At the top left, you have air. And at the top right, you have water. So that's humanity. Then you have the hexagram, which has the planets. You have the banishing hexagram of Saturn, which is the most common one, has Saturn at the top, and then you get at the bottom angle, left angle, you get Mercury. The bottom right, you get Venus, and then the down pointing triangle has at its peak Luna, the moon, and then at the bottom of it you have Mars and Jupiter, and these two together is like a spiritual symbol. It's like divinity. The hexagram is more God, and the pentagram is more man, I guess you could say. And you don't want to learn the invoking ones unless you know what you're doing. The invoking ones summon spirits, and the banishing ones clear out your space. We only did the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram before we started because, positive spirits, positive energies, that's fine. We don't mind that. But we don't want to have bad vibes hanging around. We don't want that. So we did that at the beginning, and we talked a little bit about the Kabbalistic cross, which is pretty much you are the kingdom, the power, and the glory in eternity. Amen. Yeah, best to cleanse first. Exactly. It's a very simple ritual to do. You can start the day with the invoking pentagram, if you want to, but at least you should be closing the day with the banishing, so you have a good night's sleep. Or if you're gonna do magical work, you want to make sure you don't have a bunch of gnomes hanging around or whatever, messing up your steez. And these are very, very basic rituals that are available everywhere. Most everything from the Order of the Golden Dawn is available online, I believe. It got published. I think that there was a lot of Mathers who took over after the original founder of the Golden Dawn, if I read correctly. He wasn't very well liked, and he really liked Crowley. And he initiated Crowley against the will of the others in France, and which, I think Mathers actually got banished from the Order of the Golden Dawn. Israel Regardie publishes a lot. Yeah, he did. The Garden of Pomegranates and stuff like that. But I still think that the Unifortunes, the Mystical Kabbalah, is a better introduction. Because I think Israel Regardie he was an apprentice he was very close to Crowley for a long time. So if you're like a Thelemic or a Thelema, if you believe in Crowley's system, I think Israel Regardie is a good place to start. But if you want like a more of a non-biased, also it's possible that Regardie altered some stuff in the official books, which Crowley was known to do, for example. But it's all published, and I think Regardie published it because Crowley also published stuff. I think he stole a lot of the rituals and made it public or something. I don't know, but it was a lot of drama, which is interesting when you look at all these people who claim they're so enlightened. They're all a bunch of drama mongers, really. There's so much drama in the occult community in the early 1900s, late 1800s. But that's humanity for you, right? That's humanity for you. Let's make the Triforce just because we can. But there's a bunch of self-proclaimed heirs to the Rosicrucians. Freemasons are still around. There's a bunch of different rites of Freemasonry. There is, regardless if you believe it or not an international Freemasonry. It's all national. Although I would say the Anglican, the Blue Lodge system, as far as I know, is fairly global. The French system is a little bit more political. The British system is more social, as far as I know. And then you have a bunch of other rites. Yeah, Crowley was a very petty man, I think. I think he was very petty. That was probably his vice. Proud, I think. Which is my vice as well. I tend to get very sensitive if someone questions my professionalism in certain things. Like, I teach, and I have a way of teaching where I use movies a lot. And it's a crutch, absolutely. But I think if you want to teach complex concepts, I think movies are a very, very good medium for that. Extremely petty, yeah, definitely. It was very infected. And I mean, there were other waves of spiritualism at that time too, but in the 1800s, things were a little bit more coherent, I think. It just really blew up in the early 1900s. Everyone just started hating each other. But what was I saying? Yeah, so pride is definitely a sin of mine, if you want to call it that. But I also feel like I can feel very justified in criticism, because some of my colleagues will be like, "Oh, you watch so many movies." I'm like, "Yeah, but if I want to talk about social capital and like Bourdieu stuff, we'll watch Good Will Hunting, Because Goodwill Hunting, first of all, a lot of our students are going to like identify with this guy. Second of all, that's what it's about. It's about choosing your own way in life and not like feeling like you're obligated to do something just because you were born smart or born in a certain part of society and stuff like that. I think that's what every human being should strive to achieve, a sense of purpose in their own lives. Like, this is me, this is where I'm headed, this is what I want to do, this is what I'll do with the little time I have on this planet. Because, we don't know. We don't know what's waiting for us. We have no way of knowing what's waiting for us. Could be heaven, could be hell, could be absolutely nothing, could be reincarnation. I don't know. I don't know. We have very little evidence for anything. So, just do what you can with the time you have, and don't worry about what's going to come. And that's kind of related to the mindfulness we were talking about earlier. How I believe that mindfulness is I think human beings, see, 2 triangles, nice. I think human beings are movies can give us a lot of insight, absolutely. And that's the thing, right? It's a medium. At some point, the death of the author is in effect, right? You can find really meaningful messages in movies that the creator didn't mean to put in there due to their subconscious ideas. But I think that mindfulness, like living in the now, doing what you do now, is very easy to achieve. Like, I'm in mindfulness right now. I'm just letting my mouth run. I barely stutter any, which I tend to do when I got like a script or something prepared. And I'm just talking, right? We're just having a conversation. The same way, if you go out into the woods and you go like, I want to collect berries. Yeah, just collect berries. That's such a primal part of your nature. Like, you don't have to think about tomorrow. You're like, I'm gonna collect berries, and your subconscious mind is gonna do that for you. It's gonna be like, okay, maybe you'll think a little bit about some problems, but a lot of your subconscious stuff happens when you don't have active input into your brain. So if you're watching movies all the time, if you're watching YouTube all the time, you're constantly keeping your subconsciousness busy with new input, new ideas, new concepts, which is very stimulating, but it doesn't help you in dealing with your current problems. Meditation is extremely difficult for our generation of people because our brains are constantly begging for silence, for a moment of rest to kind of start dealing and processing everything we've heard, everything we learned. And that's why when we sit down to meditate and don't do anything, our brains immediately go, okay, perfect time for me to start filtering, perfect time for me to start cataloging every little bit of information. What should I remember? What shouldn't I remember? So it's like your brain starts screaming at you as soon as you sit down and like turn off your monitors and just am by yourself. So I absolutely think that something like this is meditational, because I don't need to do an awful lot of calculations putting little beads onto a plastic thing. So this is an opportunity for me to be mindful, to be in the now. My conscious mind is in the now, while my subconscious mind is processing everything that's going on that I need to process. It's a very good process. It could be playing games, it could be listening to music, anything. But if you're playing a game, I would recommend doing something that's kind of brain dead. I love farming in games, for example. I love being a gathering class in Final Fantasy XIV and just running around and gathering stuff and seeing the numbers go up, or playing EVE Online and like going to an asteroid belt and just gathering things. It's a primal kind of need and want in humans. Oof, I've been talking nonstop, haven't I? I'm very sad that our incense is running out. I could get another tea candle, but we're pretty close to ending. Not awfully close, but pretty close, and I don't want to waste another candle. I have my berry picker pill, absolutely. I have my, thank you for, I burned myself. These are my 2 pillars of Yakin and Boas, 2 candles. They're not lit. Thank you for the humidity, third party. They're not lit right now because I don't want to start a fire. But essentially, I am doing this under the watchful eyes of the pillars of severity and of mercy. Personally, I like the Pillar of Severity. I'm into that stuff. I love demons. I love the idea of like fallen angels. I love the idea of revolution against the creator god, because to me it's like it's so close to the human spirit, right? I think it's close. I think it's us. Like I was watching Esoterica, a channel on YouTube. They were doing a commentary for the movie Hereditary, and they were saying something which I agree with. Like we want to apply human characteristics to angels, but they don't really. I mean, angels and these spirits, they're not human. Like they are something else. So someone was saying that like there being a war in heaven, preposterous. How could anyone war against a tomb? And you know, I kind of agree with that. But that's the thing, right? Like just knowing that it's not going to work and still rebelling against it, to me, that is very human. That's a very human trait, fighting the inevitable. So I like that. I like that about demonology. I like that about the what's it called, the Lesser Keys of Solomon. But yeah, I do believe a lot of Christian dogma has gotten mingled into it a little bit. But then, I mean, at some point, like I said, if we don't have any morals, there are no universal morals in my belief. I don't think the universe cares if we torture a small animal or not. However, we care, and I do believe that that matters more. That we think it's bad. I think that has more weight to it than that it's universally considered bad. Because if you say that something is universally bad, then you're gonna encounter it and you'd be like, why would someone let this happen? Oh, the ways of God are not for us mortals to understand. Like, yeah, okay. Or rather, maybe morals are something we created because we have compassion, and we don't like seeing things get tortured. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. So I think that humanity fighting against the inevitable, that is literally life. That is the spark. That's the spark in our hearts. That is the soul. Us standing up against the dark and going, no, I'm not gonna die lying down. I'm not gonna accept that death is the end. I'm not gonna accept all these things. I'm gonna make my own heaven with blackjack and hookers. Like, that's so human, right? I mean, I'm just a little frog. I'm just still a little frog. I'm still a little guy, so I don't know. I don't think frogs go to heaven. Sadly, we don't have a soul. But if there's anything I've learned from studying humans, is that the human spirit is about kicking and screaming against the nihilistic universe. And that's cool. I like that. I really like that. It's beautiful in a way, I think. There's beauty in hopelessness. It's very deep. See, now we're getting pretty close. We've done 3 of the 4 colors. Now we're doing water, which is apparently black in Malkuth. I'm not entirely sure I understand why that is, but maybe one day I will. Or maybe it's not water. Or maybe they were like, these colors are cool. But then, again, I guess it's because, pardon me. Because I guess it's because these are all technically colors of Earth. These are the colors of the Earth element. So I guess you can't really call them the elemental colors then. Because again, red, yellow, blue, and black. But black can also be russet, olive, citrine, and black. So maybe this isn't the elements. Maybe this is all of the elements. Maybe this is Earth. Who knows? See, and now we're gonna have a white line going through all of it, I think. That's nice, right? Separating all of it. Because otherwise one of these is gonna have to be bigger, or 2 of these are gonna have to be bigger than the others. And I don't like that. So they're all gonna be perfectly big, and then we're gonna have lines going through them. It's gonna suck. Or maybe I should just go black. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just go black. We'll have a black line going through it. So black will be a little bit more represented, but that's fine. I have more black beads anyway. I had a little thing with hooks on it once that was really good at picking up beads. So now I could actually pick up 2 beads at the same time and like multi-track drift while making these. But now I can't, and that's unfortunate. I can pick up 2, but I'm squeezing them together, so I might accidentally send them flying across a room, and then I'll never find them until my cat chokes on them, and I don't want that. So we're just gonna do one at a time, and that's fine. Just trying to make something out of entropy. Exactly. Entropy is how it is. But it's on such a cosmic scale, right? I think a lot of people... I think we have a very bloated sense of self-worth, which is both our greatest strength and our greatest weakness. Because I do believe strongly that the human spirit is about, or rather, the purpose of the universe is to find your own purpose, is to find what you think is valuable, and that has a value. Because you think it has value, it has value. There's nothing wrong about believing in something that is temporal or flawed. It's only wrong if you're imposing it on others. That's my firm belief. So I guess if you believe that you should rule everything, I would argue that's bad. But if you believe that you love your family and you love God or whatever, that's... I know, I love how I always say God or whatever. Being religious is very alien to me, still. But there is no reason for you to be born. There is no reason you were born into this world other than to continue life. That I believe. And that is the key to your salvation. That is the key to your freedom. Because knowing that, you decide what your reason is, right? You decide why you exist. No one else can do that for you. And that's a scary thought to a lot of people. To me, it is beautiful. It is a wonderful concept. You are the master of yourself. Which is why I think the closest thing we can get to evil in this world is people who will actively work to make sure other people don't have any ownership of themselves. I don't think you automatically have full control over your destiny, and if you're like working as a slave or like if your life sucks, that's your own fault. I don't believe that. I believe that our ancestors, our entire species, have been working towards the freedom of self-definition. We are destroying diseases, and diseases, if they do anything, it is that they define us outside of our... No problem, I got the religious angle covered. That's good. But yeah, diseases define us. Death defines us. Poverty defines us. Hunger defines us. If you look at Maslow's ladder of needs, self-determination is very high up there. And we've always been working towards that. Because once people are fed, warm, have family, friends, they want to define themselves. Self-definition. It's a very noble pursuit in humanity. And I would never want to stand in the way of self-definition. Which makes me kind of a crappy teacher, because I tend to be very lenient in my grading. I always try to think, what did they mean by this? That's the thing. I'm very lenient when it comes to badly written stuff. I am absolutely not lenient. Absolutely not. You put it on there, you unput it there. If the health department gets to see our house... Sorry, that was Chris Chan coming out. If you cheat, if you use AI to do your work for you, well, I mean, obviously, then you're not at a stage where self-definition is what you're looking for. But I can't abide by that. AI is a great tool. I've used AI in some of my videos. I like AI. Yeah, the hierarchy of needs is that's the name of the structure. AI is a tool, but if you use AI to get rich or to exploit or to pretend that you made it yourself, then you're not ready to learn. Then you're not ready to go to school. Then you have other issues you should deal with. Lucky kids. Imagine AI having AI. Yeah. I never really did do my homework. I have a very good memory for stuff I read, but I'm not very smart. But I have a good memory for stuff I read, and I liked to read our course books on my free time, which is why I'm absolute garbage at math, but I'm really good at history, religion, geography, those kind of things. Yeah, homework is bad for actual learning, and now it has reached a point where it's pointless, because homework is supposed to be like an illustration. It's a way for the teacher to gauge whether or not you learned, right? It's to watch your process. Okay, did this kid understand what the assignment was about? Did they understand what they were learning? But now with AI, it's like you can, yeah, okay, I can still do the same assignments, but then like I'm constantly going to be battling against AI. I'm constantly going to have to second guess. All my homies hate homework. Yeah. All my homies hate homework. Nobody likes homework. Teachers don't like homework. No teacher I've ever met has liked grading homework. It's a necessary evil, and it's not even necessary anymore. So, death to homework. I'm glad it's dead. I'm glad it's dying. I dropped the bead. I don't know where it went. I don't know where the bead went. Oh no. So, in a way, I'm glad. And I always try to make my assignments be like personal stuff. How do you interpret this message? Do you relate to this? Do you have any experiences similar to the characters in the novel you just wrote? What will you do in the situation you were in? And if you make assignments like that, it's actually fairly easy to spot AI. That's the thing. If you do math, much more difficult. If you do math, not so difficult because that ruins your brain. But if you do math assignments, that's hard to see if someone used AI to do that. And on the other hand, I also think that that's one of those fields where AI can do the most good. Math, science, biology, the STEM subjects. Absolutely, I think AI is going to do wonders there. Humanities, it's about understanding our world, right? It's about understanding our emotional, spiritual selves. Humanities, if you cheat at those subjects, you have a small soul, man. And I don't mean to say that humanities are better than math and science. I actually think the opposite. But I think that humanities is what differentiates us from nature, from animals, from AI, from the logical system. That is the spark of divinity in your chest. Your ability to feel, to relate, to explain, to tell stories, to be a VTuber. That's your soul right there. And if you cheat there, why are you even doing it? I do not envy you. Yeah, that's why I tend to. I also like to have students grade themselves, and I will provide, if we're doing like a test, I will provide the right answers and we'll discuss it. I think everything is important in different ways. Yeah, math especially seems very limiting to me. Math and humanities are two sides of the same coin, I believe, and they're both equally important. Although I think math is definitely super duper important for us to understand how the universe works, and math has a big spot in like old religions too. It's important, and it is how the system works. There's a reason people call Atum the great architect. Like, it's a lot of math. It's a lot of math. Math is divine. There's no question about it. But humanities is divine. It's a soul, right? If math is the Holy Spirit, then the soul is humanities. It's language, it's art, it's music, it's crafts, it's society, it's communication. It's what makes us different from animals. It's what makes us divine in the universe. There will never be a poem written. There's no way. It will never happen that a poem is created by the universe. A poem will not spontaneously appear, right? I'm awful at math. We teach it stupidly. Yeah, we do. We don't I think math, once math becomes theoretical, entirely like hypothetical, that's when it completely loses me. Not that I think it's weird. I'm a very physical person. I'm an Earth sign. I'm a Taurus. The world is very materialistic to me. So math that's hypothetical just eludes me, I guess. But what was I saying? I was saying something. I was gonna say something. Oop. Math is also like our way of understanding creation. Things can be two things at the same time. That's, I think, the lesson you should take away from it. It's just a matter of perspective, really. Perspective is everything. And I really love humanity's ability to anthropomorphize anything. We think our computer is angry with us. We ask the toaster to please not burn our bread. You know, we like to give human characteristics to inanimate objects, which is cute. It's kind of a funny thing. I don't think anything else does that. I don't think a cat looks at his favorite toy and be like, oh, that's like a cat. Like, no, it's a toy. I like to play with it. It's my toy. You know? I don't know. Taurus gang, rise up. Gotta avoid tunnel vision in life. Yeah, that's one of my biggest issues too. I've gotten much better at it, but I always want to go for the most obvious solution first. So I rarely stop to think about other ways of doing things. I think about consequences of my actions all the time. I'm very consequence-minded, but I never think about like other solutions. So I have a friend who's an Aquarius. No, a Pisces. And man, our brains work differently. We are so different. They always avoid problems for the longest time they can. They don't like to talk about them. They just like to pretend that they're not there so they can gather up the energy to finally deal with this issue, right? And I'm like, oh, it's a problem. Let's solve it. So we don't have any problems. I love it when we don't have problems. That's the best. So that's the kind of person I am. And so different. I love dealing with problems, especially problems that you can solve. There's nothing more rewarding than like fixing a situation, right? You really are a Pisces, Tiny? Are you a Pisces? Yeah, like just going like, there's no problem. Everything's fine. This is fine. That's a definition of a water sign, Aquarius. While the Fallout comic, this is not fine. That's a Taurus going like, no, you have to fix it. Yeah, you are an Aquarius. Aquariuses make for really good artists, or Pisces. Sorry. Pisces make amazing artists. They have the patience to sit down and just go like, I think it's because Pisces don't feel like, okay, this is very generalizing, but I think Pisces and water signs don't mind the process as much. I can get very impatient if I'm not seeing the results I expect. Pisces gang. Yeah. Every Pisces you've known is a great artist. That means you too. Yeah. You're great. You're a great artist. Math is just trying to, math is just trying to explain and rationalize our world. Yeah, that's what it is. And I think that's fine. But I think you can't explain and rationalize everything. You can't boil emotions down to numbers. Yeah, you can say it's X amount of this hormone, but it's much more complex than that, I think. I think absolutely if you were Atum, if you were the god, you would be able to do that. You would be able to explain stuff, but maybe our minds wouldn't be able to comprehend it. I don't know. Love is just chemicals. Oh, I'm so sick of irony poisoned. Fucking can't take anything serious, can't lower their shields to even consider the fact that there's more to life than but then owning religious people. Owning religious people is the argumentative equivalent of kicking a puppy. No, not even kicking a puppy. Like, I don't even know. It's not kicking a puppy. That's wrong. But like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I just think, man, let people believe. Yeah, don't kick puppies. You need your serotonin. Ooh, remember to take your daily dopamine injections. Yeah, I it's a duality. It's not one or the other. It's a duality. It's both. You can, like I said before, I have very, very skeptical to people who make it their business to sell you a product and claim that it has spiritual qualities to it. Like if someone goes, oh, I'm going to take a photo of your aura, I'm like, no, please fuck off. You're trying to scam me. You're trying to get my money. I'm not going to respect your hustle. But if someone goes, hey, let me put 2 hours into reading your horoscope and your birth chart, and then we're going to talk about it, I think that's more worth it than someone going, oh, this herb is going to be great for you. Like, that's such a lazy way of doing it. That's like the alchemist trying to make gold, right? Because alchemy isn't about making gold. Alchemy is about attaining a higher understanding of the world. Birth charts are very interesting. I agree with you. And I don't know if you could possibly define a person entirely by their birth chart, because we are very confirmation biased humanity. We like to believe. When we see something that confirms our belief, we cling to that like little babies. Yeah, everything is a scam. Mon, you're right. Like, I mean, okay, so I mentioned this before, like how justice and stuff like that is, and mercy are made up, and they are. Like there is no mercy in nature. There is no justice in mercy. Nobody gets their justice certs in nature. It's about statistic probability. That doesn't mean that mercy and justice don't exist, because we've created them in our mind. When I read the first couple of chapters of Hermetica, there's a really interesting part where Atum explains to Hermes that close your eyes and imagine yourself in a distant land, and immediately you're there. You can smell it, you can hear it, you can see it, but you're not physically there. And I think it's somewhat similar with concepts like justice, concepts like equality, those kind of things. Just because they don't exist in nature doesn't mean they don't exist. They're hypothetical ideas. Just like we are ideas in the mind of Atum. I tend to be very skeptical of a lot of things that claim to be able to tell you your personality. Absolutely. And MBTI, that's just astrology for nerds. Astrology for atheists. MBTI is equally like, oh yeah, but if you do this and this and this, yeah, well, maybe. But maybe that's just how I feel today. I think it's kind of arrogant to say you can boil down a human's entire set of personality and history and personality traits into a bunch of numbers. That's very arrogant. Not saying that there's nothing to be gained from it, but again, just like with tarot cards, it's a system of deciphering our own world and our subconsciousness. Which means it's important. There we go. One more. It's done. It is done. I won't be able to make the Malkuth right now, or the writing Malkuth. I wanted to do that as well. Oh, my butt hurts. You can sleep now. I don't trust MBTI to give me a nerd personality, so it's wrong. Yeah, confirmation bias in action. But yeah, I think everything should be considered a tool for looking into yourself. I think a tool for self-reflection. Tarot cards, they're just pieces of paper. They're mass-produced. There's nothing spiritual about them. No one is standing there and like sanctifying them for you. They're mass-produced in a factory in China. That's the cold hard truth. However, there are concepts and images in this card that will evoke certain thoughts and certain feelings, that will make you recollect certain experiences. Knight of the Holy Grail, the fishes on his clothes, the way the horse is walking, the little banner on his helmet. It's all created to give you like a framework of thought, to kind of look into yourself and be like, okay, how can I relate to this? So it's all about like looking into yourself. I think the only spiritual part of it is your brain. Oh man, I am stinky. I gotta go shower soon. I'm stretching. Sometimes you need to be intuitive. Sometimes you need to be grounded. Exactly. Balance. Balance in all things. I'm going to very carefully move this. I will have to iron it after stream. And I'm gonna show you what I plan. Oh my god, I have no open space left. Okay, let me very carefully. Woof. I am very shaky, as I've said before, so I tend to sometimes drop things because my hand just jumps. I don't like it. That's just how it be. Ooh, that's really warm. Let me put this down again. Ultimately, every image or word you see has only meaning you give it to it. Yes, that's your divinity at work. Let's very carefully move that over there. So, this is when we were doing the ritual. Ata Malkuth Vegevura Vegedura Leolam Amen. You are the kingdom, the power and the glory in eternity. Amen. This is the lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram. Yohevave, Yodawave, Jehovah. Adonai, this is east, south. Eheye, I am, in the west. And Agala, which is an acronym, I don't remember what it means, but it's Adonai something. These are the four names of God being used. They're all tetragrammatons. They're all written with 4 characters in Hebrew. And this is a lesser banishing circle of the pentagram. You move clockwise, and you stand in the middle, and you hold your arms out, and you say, before me, Raphael. Behind me, Gabriel. To the right of me, Michael. To the left of me, Uriel. Before me shines the light of the pentagram. Behind me lights the 6-pointed star. Now, I didn't really translate that properly because I say it in Swedish. This is the hexagram, the divine hexagram. You have Saturn, Venus, Mercury, Luna, Jupiter, Mars, Sol in the middle, the Sun. Never known to cross earring. I put it on for this. I usually don't have it all the time. These are the 4 elemental symbols. This is air, earth, fire, water. And these are the astrological signs connected to them. In air, we have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. In earth, we have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Fire is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Water is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. These are also the symbols. Here's Sol, the sun. We also have Uranus, which I think has taken over for this penis-shaped Caput Draconis, the head of the dragon, and Neptune, which is the tail of the dragon, that I never know how to say it. Pluto doesn't symbolize anything. Fuck off, Pluto. At least in classic alchemy. So, what I'm going to write is the name of Malkuth in Hebrew. So, Mem, L, Ku, Kof, Vav, and Tau. I believe it's Tau. It's the name of this character. So Malkuth. You write it from right to left. Wait, you write it from right to left. Mum, L. I don't remember what that one's called. Justice for Pluto. No. Koth. No. Something else. Kof is something else. K. Anyway, Vav and Tau. So, by the way, the Hebrew alphabet is pretty interesting. Each letter has a number set to it, and it has a word meaning. I don't speak Hebrew, but I can read the characters. Technically, Malkuth would probably have like a dot underneath to be like no. Is it a line? There's different ways of writing it to show which kind of vowel you're using, because most of them are consonants, really. So I'm going to write Malkuth on glow-in-the-dark beads and kind of glue them onto this first sphere, which is actually a square, because humanity is flawed. We can move towards divinity, but we cannot be perfect. We are not perfect, and we should accept that. We are the uncarved stone, as it were. If you know, you know. So here is Boaz, Yakin, the strength of God, and God has created me. I've been streaming for 3.5 hours. I have to get ready. I got an hour until I gotta go, so I had to go shower and shave. I'm meeting my family. We're celebrating my sister's birthday. She is a Sagittarius. Very difficult person to get along with. Don't tell her I said that, though. We're gonna find someone to raid. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you for hanging with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you very, very much to Polly for the raid. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna mute my stream here. Hold on. And okay, we got Vivi streaming Mario Kart Deluxe, and we got Paperbag doing art. It was fun. I'm glad you liked it. I'm gay. Oof. Recommended channel: The Genie, Zuma, Kibi, Taylor. Oh, Margot is doing retro. Akiaji Margot. She's like a sweet potato merchant. I think. Raid. Akiaji. Margot. She's really cool. I'm gonna call the sign. No! Oh, no, we're not raiding. Sorry. I accidentally pressed enter. My keyboard is really far away. Akiaji Margo. There we go. And I think the raid message is going to be Malkuth. Raid. No! Hold on. Malkuth. Congregation raid. There we go. Congregation raid. Whatever. This is so hard to type. Raid. Malkuth. No. And if you have frog emote, absolutely use that. Hi Charlie. Thank you for coming. Thank you, and thank you Tiny. I'm glad you liked the stream. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. I had a great time. Hopefully I will not ruin my wonderful little paler. You can look at it again. It's very pretty. I like it a lot. So this is Malkuth. Sounds creepy out of context. Malkuth. Just screaming Malkuth. Very happy with how it came out. And have a great one. Have a great one, everyone. Hope your weekend is going to be enjoyable and nice and relaxing. I will be streaming again on Tuesday. Wednesday. The day of Odin. So take care. Thank you for the head pats. See you around. Hux.